Test, test. Test, test. Okay.
You with treasures I don't hold, and though the shine is dulled, that's how I'll always think of you. You were a young one then, but everyone begins. We were just children, heaven was a dream away. Running from monsters, I wish I could say that the keys that you were searching for, and the giants of the past have turned to dust. The world is ours to take, and I know it's not too late. The world is ours to take, and I know it's not too late. Too late. Just children and heaven was a dream away. Running from monsters, I just wanna say that the keys that you were searching for, and the giants of the past have turned to dust. The world is ours to take, and you know it's not too late.
Good afternoon, morning, noonday, night. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good day today on this Monday. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry I'm a little bit late. When I went to get on today, my power went out at the exact, well, as I was getting up, my power went out. So, I'm in a unique spot with that right now. We have a huge blizzard going on right now. It is a blizzard, by the way. Listen, it is a blizzard outside right now. It's crazy. I'm talking like 70-mile-per-hour winds. We already have a foot of snow in like 6 hours. So, yep, it is something. All right, let me get my game opened up here. So, we are doing spectating today. I got to figure out what I'm going to do because I'm running on a generator right now. And everything I've seen is that, there's my game. Everything I've seen is that the whole town's basically running out of power here soon. So, I have no idea how that goes with generators. I know they can last a while, but I'm not trying to overdo it either. So, like even my lights in here, like the lights we use, like the generator is just powerful enough to keep them going, but it's like almost candlelit at times. It like starts to dim. So, there you go. I'm in game now. Sorry, give me a second. So yeah, we're currently running on the generator, which hey, first time having the generator outside of that one time where they took my power off. Yeah, Martin, it's a lot. Let's take the power out, but yeah, it is snowing. So, yep. Should I type in live chat? Oh, in the video, that's funny. You said you aren't far from me. It's a blizzard out. Like it is. Gamru, thank you for the prime sub. Thank you. Also, generators are loud. I didn't realize they were like the loudest trucks. Holy crap! I was like, dude, what the heck? So, let me give me a second here. I'm just gonna get my cameras opened up. But yeah, so the power's out until it's not, which I don't think they're gonna fix the power anytime soon. So it will end up being a much shorter day today because I'm not trying to risk that. You know what I mean? Of like being in a ranked game or something like that. I got some videos to record, things to do, but yeah, it's I could have taken the day off, but I also have some things I can get done that I don't need to be in game for. Necessarily, excuse me. So yeah. And Jamano, thank you for the 15 months of the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Am I enjoying all the new Overwatch stuff? Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Good morning, everyone. Yep. Why is the power out? Oh, it's a huge blizzard here. I'm talking like where I'm at, we're like looking at the possibility of 2 to 3 feet of snow.
Hello. Happy Monday.
With like 70-mile-per-hour winds. So, yes, thanks for the 6 months of the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So it is, yeah, it's crazy out. I was looking outside. I'm just like, dude, it started snowing at like 10:30, and then like it already has almost got up to where it was last time from the snowstorm. So it's yeah. Either way, but yeah, I'm running on a generator, so I'm not trying to risk it of being on for like a 10-hour day because I just don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. Not worth. You know, I don't want to get like kicked out of a ranked game or have everything turn off on me, and that's no fun. So what we will do is we will get some spectatings done. Maybe practice some heroes in like quick play or something a little bit more chill. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So cool. Anyway, that's it. I'm just glad, you know what, at least I know the generator does work. Okay. Why didn't I tell you that tanking can be enjoyable once you get the hang of it? Because it takes a while to get the hang of it. Have I seen the interview from Alec from the Omnic Post one? Oh, I have not seen any of that stuff. No. Nope. I haven't seen any of that stuff. Yeah, I don't even know when they'll get the power back on, because... Let me see. Yeah, I don't know when they'll get the power back on, because I think it's supposed to stall like this all the way for like another like 12 hours or so. If not longer, if it depends if it spins. So. When am I doing another play of the game video? Eventually. Whenever we get enough scuffed ones submitted, usually it's based off of submission time. So as long as we get those submitted and all of that, we should be good. I'm getting like, it's always jarring when the lights randomly do what they're doing. The lights start to, look at the storm. Looks like it's here till probably, yeah, at least another 12 hours. Okay. Anyway, so I have internet with the power outage. Well, everything's like underneath the ground. And we also have like the internet. So when we were moving here, the people that did my electric stuff also connected like the internet directly to my house or something. Like directly to like it's direct connect in comparison to like to the modem and then something else. They said it would make it so that if there's ever power like stuff, it would be.
Been a while since I have been here. Stay safe in the blizzard, man.
Table Snake, thank you for the 68 months with the tier 1. Been a while since you've been here. Well, welcome back. Always hope everything's been well. And Crush You, thank you for the 3 months of the tier 1. Thanks.
Of my favorite Overwatch analyst and advocate.
Oh, is my stream room actually doing that? Like, is the lights, like, is it changing colors occasionally? Like, can you see it? I can occasionally see it. It's funny. But, yeah. It's almost like the generator can just barely keep those lights the way they're supposed to be, and that's why it's like that. I noticed it when I was in the bathroom too. I'm like, it's kind of like if it was like candlelit, but well candlelit. Yeah, I could just see it doing in my background. You probably won't notice that one, but that's funny. It keeps like the lights keep flickering, like ever so slightly. How much stone did we get? I think we have a foot right now with another 12 hours to go. So we just had a foot, and now we have about another 12 hours to go of it. So I assume the generator will run the whole time. It's just like I don't want to risk it of, you know, even like a small like flicker that just turns everything off, because that would be annoying. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not trying to do that. Actually, I'm gonna untangle my headset while I'm here. That's why I'm gonna just kind of take it chill today. Obviously, I would love to do my normal 10-hour days, but it ain't worth risking it. So hopefully they'll have everything fixed by tomorrow, I hope. So we'll see. We'll see. I can't remember the last time you did a 10. No, I did 10 hours on Thursday and Friday, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't remember. I've been vibing, so. Didn't impress him. I'm streaming at all. Well, this is why. One second. Almost done untangling. It should be good. Good there. Cool. When I got the house built, yeah, Jerome Blizzard. Yeah, probably. Yep. Okay, there we go. When I had my house built, I made sure to have some things done that would. Okay. That would make it, you know, so I could still stream if I, you know, really needed to lock in for a day, or like, you know, we ever had like, I remember how annoying it was when I had the supporter streamer happen and they cut my internet line, so I had to like figure something out last second. I like having the generator for that, so that way it can solve that issue at least. So, yeah. You said snow removal, so because our HOA takes care of it, believe it or not. So I don't have to clear my driveway or do anything like that. They'll do it. It's just on their time, you know. Do I have an elevator? No. Did your work day was about to be boring? I will admit it's not going to be a full 10-hour day today. It's going to be a much shorter day today because I'm not trying to risk having the power, you know, do what it's going to do. So, but it will be a shorter day today. How short that may be, I don't know yet. You said you almost got 2 feet there. We currently have a foot of snow with like 12 more hours to go. Yeah, you're talking about HOA. So obviously it can change, but when I got mine here, I did a lot of research on it, and like they're known to be very chill. Like all my neighbors have things that most HOAs wouldn't like let you have. If that makes sense, they don't care. As long as they're very. I'm in like a neighborhood, so it's like, and like things are kind of spread out a little bit, so they don't really care. As long as you pay it, they don't care. Yeah, trust me, I know. I've heard all the stories of HOAs and stuff like that, but they're very chill. I mean, I kind of got a vibe of that this winter with my neighbors and how they like put up their Christmas lights and, you know, what they had for like decorations. It was fine. They don't care. So, we warranty too. And then yeah, part of the HOA thing is they'll remove any of the snow or anything like that. So I technically could get a 20-foot skeleton for my front yard on Halloween if I wanted to. I'm not going to, I'm kind of excited for that because once we're actually into like spring weather, I'm gonna finally have like a front yard with like my actual design for it because we held off on getting it done because there was no point because the house was so delayed that we're just like we'll just do it next year. So, but yeah, I'm talking about like Onron. Onron's fun in like if you can do the setting of kind of I call them farming runs. You go in, you go out, you reset, and that's it. And like that's kind of how I've looked at it in the past. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Good coffee. Tastes good. Probably build a 20-foot snow skeleton with this weather. That's dude crap. It is. I mean, I know New York got hit pretty hard by it too. So, yeah, I know New York got hit hard by it too. So it's welcome. We're probably having the same storm right now. I'm a little bit behind you on the timings of it. Yep. You got slammed. Yeah. It's the same storm that New York got. Mm-hmm. Can you ask me how how they're chosen? I would just always say the advice I always give when it comes to choosing. I said new drops. Not yet. I think we're closer to new drops. I think it's going to be the week of the 8th because that's when these drops end. But I don't have any full details yet. I'm sorry. You said I would say that the biggest thing though is like just think storyline and what would be entertaining for YouTube. It's a much more likely way to end up on the reviews. It's a sticky west. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. I noticed that already too. That's probably why my power's out here. I mean, I looked at like the power guide and like the whole area is just out right now. So they won't even be able to fix it for at least 12 hours. That's usually what happens in these situations is that it's not that they can't get your power back up. It's just that they have to do like a bunch of other stuff to even get to the point of putting your power back up. So they can't really travel right now unless it's like super emergency. Because like it would be impossible to travel on that. They can't plow yet. And they can't clear the snow yet, so they have to wait till all that's done. So, sucks for like I said, I'm lucky to have the generator because right now it would just be no power at all. Like I would just have nothing. So I'm glad I got that going at least, right? Yeah. So anyway, I don't know why I just said yep like that. I was gonna read a sentence and I forgot what I was gonna say, and then I just went yep. That was it. There was nothing else to it. It was just yep. Your partner's in southern New Hampshire says it's gonna be fun. Yeah, exactly. Was there a lot? So yeah, like I said, the snow is still building. I already have a foot of snow, and it just started 6 hours ago. So that should give you an idea. Dad has pictures from shoveling snow off his roof. Yeah, oh, yeah, or off his Yep. Getting to school now. Enjoy A-Rock. Yeah, Lonnie has the day off today, of course. I wouldn't doubt it if she has tomorrow off also. I can't really do comp today, Gray Main, because of, like I said, I'm not trying to risk being in a comp game with the power issues. But I do have a couple spectators to record, so we'll do that, and then we'll kind of evaluate it after, all right? I have a meeting today at 1:30 anyway, so that was going to be my cutoff time regardless, so we'll see what time it is, how I feel. And then tomorrow, as long as everything's good, we'll be back to a full day. Sorry for the kind of almost 3-day weekend here that I had. I usually try to maximize my time off for 2 days. Unfortunately, with the blizzard, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But hey, I'm just glad to get to stream because majority of the town has no power right now. So I'm glad that all the generator stuff worked, which is cool. Yep. Just online notes for something else. You're in Buffalo? Yeah, you always get that lake effect whenever like it circles. That's what happens here is like the ocean effect. It will circle, and that's where we'll get more. It's been the 10th month. Glad you got time off. I mean, I understand that perspective, but dude, I just like streaming. I'll be real with y'all. I don't do the best with days off. I've gotten better at knowing how to take them, but I don't like it. I do like them, but I don't like, you know what I mean? Like I just want to grind, man. But I also know that it's smart for me to pace myself, to say the least. So What are the rhythm of taking space? Well, when you're trying to take space as a tank, you just always have a corner because it's really about being able to take space without feeding. And if you can't do it without feeding, you're probably not going to be in a good spot. So think about it as always have cover on your way to your space creation because otherwise you're going to fall over. Easier said than done on some maps. Some maps are just not designed well enough to be able to. And that's something that I think gets underrated a little bit. Some maps aren't as good for solo tanking because there isn't as much cover, so you run into these weird issues. But for the most part, most maps have cover. So, yep. What videos are planned today? I'll take a look in a minute. I'm just drinking my coffee. Did you wish I streamed more? Well, we got polar opposite opinions there from everybody in chat, huh? Do. Yeah, but we're good. Dude, the lights doing what they're doing is just it's freaking me out every time because it just like dims for a second, but I know it's fine. Got a Dominar and a Mizuki VOD today. That'll be awesome. Let's go. Wants to become what, an IRL streamer? Me? Dude, I don't think I would do that. I don't know if I'd have the most entertaining IRL streams. I just sit here. Like, there's nothing like I don't do anything extravagant. I just do the same thing. I just sit here. Unless that's what IRL streaming is now, but I don't watch it too much. So, Beef Shredder, thanks to the 3 months of the Prime sub. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Does Dominar work for 6v6? If so, what's the other tank? Probably anything that would work well with Sigma. I mean, actually, Sigma Dominar could be pretty good. Dominar Zarya. That's true, Darkstar. I'll do my best to stream more on that one. You're right. I got you. To basically take the space when the other team is on the back foot, or you've got good cover to cover. Well, even if they're not on their back foot, you need to take space. But yes, you need to spam out. Like this, I don't know. Your damage creates the space a lot of the time, unless you were Reinhardt. Wish I streamed 24/7. Nope. The different thing that's right. I mean, Dominar Zarya could work, although it doesn't synergize well because of your giant shield. But it could work. The reason why it synergizes with Rein is because the Rein can drop the shield to time the bubble damage, and/or it will just do the bubble damage because the bubble goes in front of the shield. Dominar is a little bit different, but it could work as long as you're not just like being unlucky with your timings. I think it absolutely could work. Yeah, without a doubt. Speaking of that, we have a couple spectators today. So I finished re-recording some stuff yesterday for the tier list. I will admit, chat, after further research, I put Mizuki in the A tier instead of S tier. I just felt like after playing Mizuki a little bit more, I think he's still underrated, but I do think he's not S tier yet. So I moved that yesterday for the final part. I think it's going to come out pretty good, the tier list. I'm pretty happy with what I saw from the screenshots of it. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty good video. So I went and edited that and then redid the Torb one. So that should be out soon. What I was asking for takes a little bit longer. And with me doing it the way that I did it, might take even longer. So we'll see. Looking forward to the Dominar review. Yeah, we have that today. Like I said, I'm going to go as long as I can before, I'm just going to, I don't know. We'll figure it out. What chair is meta right now? There's a lot of different meta stuff. I think holy crap, this is a 35-minute game. What the heck, dude? Where did we find this masterpiece? We have a 35-minute Dominar game. What happened? 35 minutes on Circuit Royale, dude? Okay. Well, we got ourselves a doozy. This will be a good one. Cool. I'm actually going to move over to the chat. I can. Paprika, thanks for the 50 bits. Appreciate it. Thank you. I also got to admit, chat, these streams have been unreal, man. Like, we've had so many more people in here recently. It's been crazy. Like, even like it's like the floor of what used to be is just like risen. It's cool. It's also just surreal. And again, apologies that today will be shorter, chat. Hopefully the power is officially back today at some point, so that way I don't have to worry about that with a generator. Although I will say, when I went live when it does turn the power off for a second. So technically if the power came back, that's also a concern, because if the power comes back, then I think it turns it off for a second and then redoes it. I don't know. Either way, we'll figure it out. Hi, how's it going, Arson? We'll figure it out. How do you become a good Rhine? Shield management. Best Rhines are good at two things that I've noticed. Really good shield management to the point where it feels like they always have a shield, and they just charge. But they charge correctly. They don't just charge to charge. They just like charge and they get 3 kills somehow. It's yep. What other VODs? We also have a Mizuki VOD, so yeah. I kind of want to go shovel today. I'm weird. I like shoveling. And I don't even know I'm going to shovel. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to shovel something. Maybe I'll shovel my walkway while there's a blizzard. You know? I'm just weird. It's a good workout. It's actually a pretty intense workout, if I'm correct. Yeah, 25-minute one at Circuit Royale. Yeah, this one's 35 minutes. I can't even begin to imagine what this is going to be like. You wish Overwatch gave hero loot boxes? I mean, maybe they could in the future, but I don't know. Maybe they're... I don't know. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, I got nothing really... To do not shovel the wet, heavy snow? Oh, it's the wet, heavy snow. Don't you worry. Do I play Echo? Not a ton of Echo, but Echo is good. And I've had success on Echo with very minimal play time. So, yeah, I think Echo is good. Don't hurt myself. Don't hurt myself shoveling. Well, chat... I think after seeing the poker player, I think I can't predict that. Okay. I watched there was a video of a poker tournament and a guy tore his ACL. So, you know, it is what it is at that point, right? You heard that right? Tore his ACL while playing poker. So. Yep. So what happened was they had this really huge hand that came down to like, it was going to come down to like the river, or the river, right? Yeah. And basically it just came down to one card. Well, 2 cards technically, which would mean you have what, 8 outs? I think it's 8 outs at that point. So if you have, yes, 8 outs. And basically it was very low percentage. So when the card came over, he celebrated and then tore his ACL. Because they were both standing up, because usually when you both all in, you both stand up. And then he got the card, and then he jumped and celebrated, and then tore his ACL. So there you go. So I'm just saying, like, I can't predict what will happen if I shovel. It just is what it is at that point. Yeah. You moved into your new house a month ago and had a snowblower ready before to move in? Yeah, I mean, I don't have to clear any of it. Like I said, they'll come and do it, but let me just fun them. I don't know. I don't have a problem clearing out like my walkway to make it easier. How am I doing? I'm doing well. How about you? Can you believe we're getting like closer to mid-season? Like we're not there yet, but like we're like 2 weeks away from mid-season, and then we get like a whole new set of drops and a whole new set of... Then we have OWCS starting up. Dude, it's going to be a crazy month in March, I think. March is going to be crazy. I'm going to be streaming a lot again, I think. No, they called Lonnie off of school on Saturday. I don't think there's any way she has school tomorrow, because it's not even like they can't clear the snow till tonight, and even then there's not gonna be any power back for a lot of people. So I think it's gonna be a couple days for her to go back in. How come I wasn't online over the weekend? I took the days off. That was it. I decided just to take the days off. I wanted to stream on Saturday, but I was like, dude, I gotta chill. And so I did. That was it. Like I was gonna stream on Saturday, but I kind of like talked myself into being okay with a day off and knowing the importance of quality over quantity. And sometimes the 2-day weekends happen to make sure I produce the quality rather than the quantity. Because I can stream every day, to be real with you. But I think at a certain point, I'll just quality over quantity. I still do stream a lot, but I do think that sometimes it's good to take a day or two. As much as I would love to do 7 days a week. Did they give a timer for power to be back? No, it's so widespread they just say they'll tell you later. Lonnie doesn't teach. She's a speech-language pathologist, so she works with a lot of students on the spectrum. Pretty much anything you could think of with that type of stuff. It also helps why, she understands me very well, because obviously I'm on the spectrum. So Yeah. Makes it easier for sure. I got the trifecta of what Tourette's, OCD, and being on the spectrum. So, but yeah, she works with a lot of students in that. You got Overwatch suspended. This is your fix. That's not good. How much snow do we get? It's still going. We already have a foot, but probably another foot to go. Another 2 feet to go. Yeah, we're predicted to get anywhere from like 1 to 3 feet here, depending on where it stalls. So we don't know where it's going to stall, though. That's the thing. If it does the ocean effect, we'll get like probably 3 feet. Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of snow. Like I looked outside and it's already, whew, it's crazy. So, what tanks are good against Dominar? Anything that's good against Sigma. You know, Reinhardt, Ramatra, anything quick. Dominant is, in my opinion, the way I've been kind of giving the feedback. We're going to look at a Dominar VOD here very, very shortly. Well, kind of a bit of feedback I've given with Dominar a lot of the time is to people is that like you're just kind of better at the counters. You're kind of better at the counters than Sigma is, like against like the Reinhardt and the Ramatra, but you still struggle against that. So you're just like whatever Sigma sucks against, Dominar does too, but does a little bit better job of dealing with it, right? Like your counter play on that one's not as so. Where do you find the best place to get perks and meta heroes for ranked? Ooh, I'm not entirely sure who's covering a lot of like the perks and the meta stuff, but I do hear y'all on. I think this would be a very smart time to me to get a couple guides out this month or next month. So I'm not going to promise it, but I'm going to do my best. All right. I'm going to do my best. So. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some counterplay to Ryan as Dominar, which is kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, you can make good plays against those heroes. It's just gonna be not as easy, and I think that's kind of the thing to look at. So, yeah, you said Mo. I don't know. They're getting the crap's the right time to Mo. You don't even understand, like, because people won't see it, but there's been so many of those like Discord like scams now in Twitch chat, but like we had it's like restricted, so I can only see it. Dude, I think we banned like 3 an hour right now. I'm not even joking. Like there's the Discord bot spam. They just come in, they go, "Hey, I really like your stream. When did you just start streaming? Add me on Discord and I will help," or something. And it's like that same one every single time. Oh, this one added the website. They made their own website now. So how about that? I see they're making cleansing grip in Flash Heal base kit for Weaver and Mercy. I think that's totally fine, yeah. I think I actually mentioned they should make Flash Heal a part of the base kit a while ago because it felt like it just feels like it should be something like that, and they should just get a better perk option. So, yeah, those would be good changes. I mean, yeah. You said AI versus AI spam blocking, dude. The worst part is they're gonna start learning off each other more and more, so it's gonna be even more just stuff that makes no sense. You know? Is Ryan meta? No, I wouldn't say Ryan's meta, but Ryan's good against Dominar. In the meantime, let me get the other code opened up here, so that way I can kind of get things going here. You said Super Bloom should be? Yeah, I mean, that one makes your character... I know why they're not going to do that one, so I get it. All right. Okay, where are we going to go here? We're going to be watching the Dominar. Dude, this is going to be crazy. Dude, some of the names you see are just great. Dr. Pepper HD 24. Like, that's just... Man, that's a name. Okay. Dude, this game is going to be a long one for a spectator. Holy crap, I'm going to be locked in for a bit.
Let's set up here.
There we go. Optio, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Thank you. Man, we're going to have a doozy on this one. This one's going to be a good one. 35 minutes. Yes, we have a 35-minute game. So, but it's Dominar, so at least we get to see kind of like a different perspective. So that's kind of nice, right? That's kind of nice. I didn't even realize that name kind of sucks. Rin Cake, thanks for the 16 months at the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. I didn't even notice that one. I just saw Dr. Pepper HD. And then I saw that the other people on the other team are duoed. What rank is this? This is going to be a Diamond game. Diamond 4 on PS5. So, should be an interesting one. What are we doing? We're going to be doing a spectating here very shortly. I was letting the coffee kick in. I feel like it's kicked in enough. I'm going to go upstairs and see if the generator's still on or if it's back to regular power. I think it's still generated, but I'm just going to look. Lady Sibyl, thanks for the 12 months of the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Actually, I can tell if it's in a second. Like, my house buttons don't work. I have to, like, control my house from my phone. Because when the power's out, I guess it needs the power on. So this will be a good one. And then we have a Mizuki one after this. And then again, I don't really know what the overall plan for the day is, chat, because like I said, I'm trying to figure it out, you know? We're trying to figure it out as we go. So. We will figure it out. Should we get there? So I'm trying to fix a couple things. Okay, cool. Can I test the Dominar armor bug? What's the armor bug? Like, Dominar doesn't have armor, so like, what's the bug? Is Dominar really as strong as people say? I think Dominar is strong. I don't know what people are saying for the strength of Dominar. Like, is Dominar a should be banned every game type of hero? Absolutely not. At least in my opinion. So, yep. Give me a second here, chat. Looking at this. Okay, we're good. Same bug where Ramatra didn't take damage. I mean, I definitely take damage as Dominar, but I could look into it in a little bit. So, yep. Okay. Yep. Okay, we're good. All right. Chat, I'm going to be right back a second, and then we're going to record this video. We're going to lock in. This is my first Dominar spectating ever, outside of the one that we watched of pro players, but this is like not a pro player review, so this should be fun. This should be fun. So I'll be back a second. Let's lock in. We got a review to do. Some people, this might be people's first ever spectating with me because the channel has grown a lot in the past week. So this will be people's first time of seeing this recorded. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So we'll get going with that here in a moment. I'll be right back, and time to record a spectating. So it should be a good one. Be right back. So crap, I just came up with a ridiculous idea. Should I record, if I'm up to it, should I record the D.Va guide? And then have it edited out later? Like into like a more like ridiculous thing? Because the D.Va guide is going to be me answering questions, and then we put B-roll footage anyway. So we'll see how I feel, but I have all the questions, and I was going to do it yesterday, and I'm like, maybe I can, we'll see. We'll see. Dworkins, thanks to the 11 months of the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So I'm just thinking of things to do that doesn't require me being in game, because if I'm in game, I don't want to like DC out due to the power, dude. I looked at the outage map. The whole town's there's no power. We'll see how I feel though. Don't even take. Dragon Ball's fun. All right, y'all. We ready? It's time. All right, we got ourselves our first spectating in a while. Let's have fun with it. Let's do it. Let's just go and do our thing and have a great day today, okay? Sound good? Again, shorter day today just because, so. Yeah, I'm just thinking crap because like there's more Q&A than it is like. So I have an idea. We'll go from there later. Okay, anyway, here we go, chat. You ready? All right, so today's video, we are watching a Diamond 4 tank on PS5 playing Dominar. What makes this one a very interesting matchup is this is a 35-minute Circuit Royale on Dominar. How? 35 minutes of Circuit Royale? I'm ready. And they say, hey, this is probably the longest match I've played in recent years. The enemy D.Va was a menace who pretty much obliterated my team. I considered switching to Zarya, but she's a hero I'm not too comfortable playing, so I stuck with Dominar the whole game. Just to make it kind of clear here, I do think Dominar is okay against D.Va. If D.Va's running into you, which if you're playing D.Va, you probably shouldn't be, but in addition to the D.Va, the enemy team also had a cat who made incredible plays, and it felt like I was pretty useless against their comp. As someone who mostly only plays Sigma as a tank, I struggle a lot against Doomfist D.Va. When my team tells me to switch and I do, I end up struggling even more because I'm terrible with other tanks. I would like to know what I could have done better in this match, specifically during overtime, since it felt like I was just farming endless deaths and shooting at nothing. Since Dominar is new, I'm sure there's a lot I can improve on, and I'd be grateful if you pointed it out. So enjoy. Half an hour of me hating D.Va and Jetpack Cat. Wait a second. I play D.Va and I had like cats. Wait a second. Let's see what happens, chat. This seems like it's going to be a good one. Okay. Holding here is fine. By the way, like, a little bit of a note here. You can throw your shield out a little bit sooner, because I want you to see something. Like, if you're going to put your shield in front of their spawn like that, why wait till the last possible second when your shield's going to be on it? I guess, like, there's a timing on it, so I get it. But, like, I think, like, it's okay to, yeah, you know, in hindsight, I'm trying to think now, because if you have a cooldown on your shield, you're trying to maximize the uptime of your shield here. But the way I envision it is, put it up a couple seconds prior for this first team fight. You're going to lose a little bit of uptime on it, but I think, like, by the time they get to the corner, that's when you want your next shield. And I'm just trying to do the math in my head if they'll be there in time. I would say, yeah. I would say do it a couple seconds prior. It's not going to be up as long, but I do think you'll have it in time when you need it right now. See, that 2 second difference. Yep, there it is. That's what I thought. I was like, is it about a 2 second difference? And it is. So that's a small note, and it's very niche. So don't worry about it if you don't do that. Backing up is the correct play. On Circuit Royale, by the way, a lot of people are afraid to back up too early, and I want to talk about that very quickly on this one. A lot of people are afraid to back up too early here. It's totally okay. Believe it or not, and we haven't seen a lot of Circuit Royale in pro play recently because I don't think it was a part of the map pool during the boot camp they had. But, like, a lot of teams just give this up after a while because it's so much easier to just kind of hold this and, like, use cover all around you than it is to kind of sit here and everybody gets split. You know, one person up here, some person on the bridge here, and then they get caught out right here. So, like, you actually did an okay job of recognizing you were down one, and it's just better to back up a little bit. So don't be afraid to do that if you need to. I'm not saying give up space all the time, but if you lose a team fight, just get out of there and reset. Skywolf, thanks for the 7 months with the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I do think that's just something to kind of look at in those situations. Shield's fine. Everything's fine so far. I mean, yeah, you're doing everything you would probably want to here. Playing corners, backing up a little bit. Give it a second. There's your shield. See, like right there, you mentioned their D.Va. The moment their D.Va hits their flight, I kind of want you to go for the skill shot. So what that means is it's not even necessarily a skill shot, but you're using the AoE pushback in front of you. Once you hit the D.Va there, the D.Va's going to hit the wall as a stun and will lose the ability to fly at your team. So I'm already seeing that if you're going to miss out on that opportunity to shoot at the D.Va, with that, I would actually try to use that and risk reward it, because if you hit that D.Va here, they hit this wall, the D.Va's stuck right here. Now you probably have a remech on the D.Va, or at least the opportunity to I meant to demech the D.Va, and whatever's happening back here won't happen now. Instead, the D.Va's going to eventually kill the Widow. I assume they just got to turn around here, and you're going to lose your backline because of that. You talked about how you struggle against D.Va. One thing that I would personally try to do is disrupt the D.Va as much as you can. It doesn't mean chase the D.Va around. It just means disrupt the D.Va when they're in those type of situations. And I would be something that I would just really look out for. I feel like you really gave that up right there. Like right here, why not play the corner? Like, you want to sit there and stay in the team fight. You're going to lose it, right? But I want to get you in the habit of defaulting to spots that aren't directly in the middle. I know it's a 1v5, right? Like, well, I don't know what's going on back here, but you do your thing. But play the corner. I want you to get in the habit of using cover. Like, this is a cover where you can actually give yourself maybe one extra team fight here. Maybe your teammates getting back in time. I've seen some crazy stuff. Now, granted, I don't think you're going to win that. Maybe you pick up a kill, and then things change, right? You have a cat. You get back to point quickly. Maybe you kill 2 and you get your ultimate. There's some crazy plays you can make there, and you're going to respawn anyway. Like, back here, it's all about getting a good spawn. So either way, I just want you to make sure that you're putting yourself in a good spot consistently. Basically, don't stand in the middle. Okay, here we go. Yep, put your shield up. Now, you could turn and shoot at the D.Va now. It's not my favorite, but you could have done that. Either way, you demech the D.Va. You have no shield, so you got the... Wow. Man, you really... Wow, that was... There you go, like right there. See how you boop them away like that? Try to do that a little bit more towards walls, but that is the correct play. You have an ult now. It can be eaten by D.Va, just so you know. So be careful of throwing it into the D.Va. Okay, you tried it that time, so I'm glad to see your reaction is doing that now. Stop. Nope. At that point, the D.Va's in your backline. Put a shield up, please. Put a shield up, please. You need to put that shield up a little bit sooner because you're taking a little bit of extra chip damage that you don't want to take. The way that the Dominar synergizes, so people understand this, is the E is a pretty quick cooldown that you could throw at them to give you some extra HP. So why put the pressure on your supports in that situation by risking it with that shield? So, yes, the primary fire does go through DM. Oh, no, not the... You're talking about, like, when you hold left click, it goes through DM. When you shoot the shot, the DM can eat it. But I would still shoot at the D.Va in certain situations. The biggest thing is recognizing when you can't turn around and you need to hold the front line. Thankfully, your teammate's doing well, so... You can put a shield right here for your Widow if you'd like. Just for a sec. Mizuki can't reach that range. A little bit of a tip, if you want to know if you're in range of the Mizuki, just ping the Mizuki, and it will show how many meters away they are, and then you know what the range you can be to outrange them. It's one of the rare heroes where you can kind of do that consistently because the hero has a weird mid-range. Wow. What a play by the cat. The high noon, the meow noon. What is it being called nowadays? What is the new saying for it? I don't even know. Either way, great play. So far you're doing okay on Dominar. I do feel like you're not recognizing the strength of your shield, and I want you to... Again, there's a reaction here, and I'm going to be talking about this in a D.Va guide soon, about what D.Va is supposed to do. And, like, what's going to happen a lot of the time is the D.Va's going to fly right by you, right? D.Va's going to just, like, legitimately fly right by you, and you're not going to be able to do anything. So, at a certain point, you just need to turn around and do the same thing to their backline, but not fly into them, because you can't. And I want to continuously see what your reaction is to that D.Va, because... If the D.Va's playing it correctly, again, and I'm going to talk about this in a future guide with D.Va, D.Va is not a hero that you play like Sigma or Zarya or Ryan, etc. You have to be more backline pressure than you ever have been before with that character. Like, for example, don't be afraid to ult that. I know that seems like a tough ult, but you can probably get both of them in the air right there, and that would prevent some good play by your teammates, or good play by their team, excuse me. Like, that would basically prevent, like, some of the shots right there, because what people don't realize with that ultimate is that it will... Okay. That ultimate will also block their ability to do damage until that shield's off. There you go. Good job knocking the D.Va back. But again, doesn't it kind of feel like you waited forever to use this ultimate to end up in the same play? You want to shield out now, doesn't matter where they're at. Now group the D.Va towards your team. There you go. Back away, though. Back away now. Back away. Back left corner. Back left. Okay. So this is the problem. when you're playing tank, right, you did everything right that you could have up until that moment. I thought you did an excellent job here, right? So I feel like you, like, seriously did a great job here with backing up. And then once you got here, rather than back up just an extra few feet to reset your cooldowns, you just stand here. And this is like the make or break between you winning a team fight and losing a team fight. And I feel like these are the plays that are going to really, people always ask, like, okay, how do I back up? How do I go to cover? Like, what is the idea behind it? You got here. This was perfect. I'm like, dude, you're good. You're fine now. You're going to back up all the way. And then you just go here, and then you're fine. And then what you do is, what is your cooldown? You're at 6 seconds on your shield, so you sit here. If they overpush, you get a kill. And then 3 seconds later, you're just going to throw a shield out, and then you're right here. Everybody's safe, and you're fine. Instead, now your team's down their tank, and they're going to have to make a play off of that. So, yeah. I can't tell what you're typing there, Wild Luigi. Cool name, though. I would see people play Wild Luigi on that one. Cool. Anyway, let's continue on. Back to we'll see what happens now. Does your team hold this? Does the D.Va get into your back line? What happens? The D.Va gets in your back line. Now imagine if you go back and survive with your team. Now you demech that D.Va who just recently used ultimate, and you basically win the whole team fight. Instead, you give up second point for free, and here we are going into the third. So, little moves like that and plays like that can make or break team fights. All right? Just want to point that part out. Ideally, you're going to want to get up further to the corner, but don't force the play here, because if you force the play, you're going to end up falling over, right? And that's almost happened. Do you notice how you almost fell over? It's all about... Okay, so let me kind of explain this very quickly, because I think everybody wants to rush to their spots to take map control. I'm going to kind of show you a way that... Here's the thing. You're not going to be able to get to them here, right? Like, you're not able to get to them here. So why go up here and just basically take a bunch of damage? So what usually happens in this situation is you actually give them this half of the map temporarily. Keep in mind, the idea is that you're giving them this part of the map to eventually take it back. But you can't forcibly go take the map back because you don't have the mobility on Dominar, right? And it's not like with Sigma, because you say you play a lot of Sigma where you can kind of move forward with your shield. You're kind of like a statue for a little bit on Dominar here. So what you would do is you have your teammates control this part of the map right here, right? You're going to deny this space. If your teammates don't see anybody here, eventually you can have somebody wrap around here. This is recommended for DPS players. If you find that no one's up here, don't just stand here the whole time. I find that if you can get somebody over here, you get a lot of free kills, hence this. And this is kind of where things turn around. I've lost a lot of team fights where we don't control this part of the map as a team, and we lose because of this part of the map. So while they're just getting set up here and you can't get to them, right? Look at your ultimates. You don't really have much for you specifically. You're going to have to wait on like a meow noon to make a play here, right? So just control this part of the map. Once they get to here, they're going to be stuck. So then once the cart gets to here, they are now stuck. They have to make a decision. So I'm just saying, don't go up there and just feed and give up a bunch of cooldowns just to try to retake that early, because that's how you just get snowballed and lose this point. I know it's a little bit more advanced than we usually go on some of these maps, but time and time again, including myself, I've made this mistake of just trying to get that map control early when it's okay to just kind of sit back and wait, control half the map, and then retake your space. So now your team's on their back foot. You're getting snowballed, and we'll see what happens next. Casket's a good pick, though. Is he calling it meow noon now? Whatever people want to call it, go for it. Okay, you saw D.Va go right side, so you want to shield up now. I think something you're doing, and I want to point out to you, something that you're doing is you're trying to manage your shield cooldown as much as you possibly can. And I get it, right? But at a certain point, you need to recognize that you don't have the map space or control to just leave your teammates susceptible, right? Because your teammates are kind of relying on that shield, so waiting as long as possible puts a lot of pressure on them. Also, I like what I'm seeing from this Reaper. Let's see if it works. But you just got to remember that when you're playing is your teammates also require that shield. So, you know, yeah, good luck. That's called you got lost, know your escapes. I mean, that's on you again, straight up. Chat, has anybody tested this with Domina? Okay, I have a question. Has anybody tested this with Domina? If a D.Va ults and I ult one of their teammates right near me, could I hide behind the ultimate to survive? Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, if I use Domina ultimate and then it puts a shield around them, can I hide behind the Dominus shield on the ultimate to be able to survive a D.Va ult. Apparently, the ult can target D.Va bomb. Can it? Oh, then so then you would just survive that, right? Can you just ult the D.Va bomb then? Because if you can ult the D.Va ult, then just ult the D.Va ult and you survive that. And then you don't get snowballed. So if you can ult the D.Va ult, then just throw the ult at it and then you're good. Then you survive that and then you're fine. There you go. If that's an interaction, which I can just test it after, you have to target D.Va bomb before bomb. Oh, okay. But still then, like, wouldn't it make sense to yeah. There is a little bit of risk there. Because the D.Va could eat it in theory, so there's a little bit of timing. Okay, it's a play you could make, but you have to make sure you understand that it could be eaten. But yeah, I would say send the ult there. Because I'm looking at, like, look at the clock, look at where the card is. There's no reason to hold it. And I'm pretty curious if there was somebody else in their team, you could ult them and stand behind them too. So there's definitely ways to survive that I wouldn't even think of in real time right now, but I want to get, like, in the mindset of everybody learning Dominar, because I think that'd be a really cool tech to get used to. At least in my opinion. You gotta ult it sooner than later, yeah. I mean, I would have ulted that even sooner. I feel like you gave too much time. Right now, it feels like you're too safe with your cooldowns. Like, I actually think that you're extremely too safe with your cooldowns right now. You need to start using those a little bit more frequently. I get what you're trying to do. Because, like, cooldown management is key. I feel like you're over-managing your cooldowns right now. And that's kind of causing you to lose team fights that you shouldn't lose. Or team fights that should be at least a little bit more difficult for the other team. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from all of this, is that you could do a better job of that. What rank is this? Diamond. So, anyway, that's the first 6 minutes of this 35-minute game. So don't worry, Chad. We got a lot to work on with them. All right, let's see how your attack goes. Let's see how your attack goes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's do this.
I am advancing the payload.
Get this show on the road.
What's to that
I'm okay with an early shield out of you. Ready, set. Now, chat, if you want to give yourself an easy timing for the shield, by the way, look down at the bottom. Once you start seeing the shield at, like, 7 seconds on the cooldown timer, maybe 8 seconds, start to look for cover. Because if I recall correctly, the shield, does F1 work in this? It does not. I think the shield lasts like 8 seconds or something. So look around the 7-second mark and you'll start to see it taper off at that point. So, like, if you use the cooldown here, right? There you go. Now watch the bottom timer. I think around 7 seconds I would start backing up from your shield if you need to for cover. There's the 7-second mark, and then now it should go away. See? Really easy to do that. If you want to play it safe, do 8 seconds so you can start to establish positioning. You can see the timer above the crosshair. That is true. But I sometimes use it elsewhere, so good call. Crosshair does exist there too. See, I guess I just absorb my information elsewhere sometimes. Yeah, the little, I see above. Yeah. I get that now. Flip of advice here. Look at that little bar above. Even better advice. I'd never even look at that. That shows you how, like, how long I played Overwatch for, where I just, like, always consume my information from the cooldowns before they started to make some of those, like, changes. Good to know. I will remind myself of that. See, this is a good learning point for me. It's been there the whole time, and I haven't even acknowledged that part of the shield. So, there you go. Advanced level up there. Okay, here we go. You're doing everything fine here. I would say try to get an E up there the moment the D.Va goes down. There you go, that's fine. Even that works. I just want you to kind of isolate. Okay, I want you to shield. You can... Yeah, there you go. You can also kind of... You can use your AoE move there on the cat if you wanted to. Okay. There it is, getting the kills. Just go in the car, they're going to leave it. Okay. I mean, pretty clean first point. You didn't really have to do much, which is nice. When you get that, oh, what is the 0 out of 25 thing? There's a new sub-roll passive. I forgot which heroes have it. Where basically you get 25% extra ult charge after you get your ultimax. It's basically just overcharge. So when you finish your ultimate, you'll get whatever that percentage is. Say it's at 8 out of 25, you'll get 8% ult charge. It's just a way, and to kind of give you an idea, I think the reason why they added that one is because there's a few supports that can't really play the game with their ultimates, right? Like how some ultimates are proactive and some ultimates are defensive. So I think they wanted to give you a way of the heroes that are known to have to hold their ults longer, just kind of giving you a little bit more opportunity to build some ult charge and feel like you're doing something, right? Kind of, yeah, you said like Zen, Lucio, Ana, Bap, etc. All those heroes require like kind of like teamwork timing. So it's just kind of, I think, a way to like incentivize those team fights where you're stuck just doing that. Because like you have to hold your ult for so long. I will say their D.Va is playing D.Va the way you're supposed to in these situations, by the way, chat. It's something that I think a lot of people returning to the game have not... it's going to take a little bit to understand what D.Va's like now. Like, D.Va's no longer the peel tank. D.Va can peel, but D.Va's just a backline assassin now. And that's why, like, in this situation, like, if you wanted to talk about what to do there, you can't turn around once D.Va's doing that. You need to go and make those same trades forward. So, if the D.Va's leaving them susceptible that way, which the D.Va is supposed to do, this is your opportunity to go take map control. I felt like you were getting distracted by that D.Va too much. And that was a problem. Again, I think you're being safe again with your ult, too. Nova, thanks for the gift. It's up. Thank you, Bridget. Like you save your ultimate for so long, and then you do that ultimate. Like, you're basically saying to the other team, hey, what can I do to help make this easier for you? Let's do that. Like, I think you would have launched that ult a little bit sooner. You get kills anyway, and you're fine. But you waited for their whole team to get back to help. But you did a good job surviving. Your teammates did a good job surviving the backline pressure. And I think the number one thing out of you right now is you're so hesitant on hitting your buttons. You're so hesitant. So, yeah. Okay. Now you're waiting. You have two options here. Like, you could go take the high ground top right. Remember how I talked about controlling the map? I would be okay if you did, but I also understand if you don't. And as you can see, remember earlier I mentioned some of the pathways you want to take as a team? Look what's happened. Your teammates, they did exactly what we were talking about. I also love this jetpack cat. Look at him, just kind of vibing. Look at her, just chilling. But anyway, like, if you look here, right? What is this, by the way? I didn't know that's... Oh, huh, okay. They're taking away the high ground control that we mentioned earlier, and you're stuck down here. So it's a very interesting approach on how this is going. But basically, they did exactly what I was saying earlier of controlling that side of the map. And I think it's actually worked for them. Remember, you can throw the charge at them. It's going to disconnect, though. You wonder why that you have to maneuver the jetpack cat stuff around perfectly. You can't just, like, run into a wall. So... What's I saying? I never really seen blood splatter like that in Overwatch. I think it might be something tied to Emre, like his... It must be something with Emre's lore. It's snowing like crazy where you're at? Same. I mean, I'm currently running on a generator right now. I technically don't even have power. Just the generator's carrying. Good stick, good Mizuki play. You can get up here. I want you to be aggressive with this ultimate, because if you're not aggressive here, you're going to eventually give them a chance. Like, just make their team think about, like, okay... Like, okay, get out of the ult. Get out of the ult. Remember, like, you're gonna win this team fight, I think, but already you're just so hesitant. I want to, next time you play, I want you to, like, almost go the limit of your cooldown usage, because I feel like you're just too safe sometimes. I've seen so many ult opportunities, we just have to send it. So, let's go. Oh, Overwatch has always had it, but you barely see with how fast-paced it is. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, here we go. All right, only 20 minutes left of this VOD chat, so we're really making progress, okay? Really making some progress right now, I'd say. Here we go again. Can D.Va eat Dominar's ult? Yes. But you still need to be more aggressive with it. It doesn't, even if D.Va can eat it, you can't play the whole game scared of that, right? Like, if I'm playing D.Va and someone's afraid to use their Domina ult or their Zarya ult because I'm just there, then I've already won. Yeah, you know, I've taken away so much of their value. Mizuki with a good play. Like, right there, I'm sending that AoE pushback. Keep in mind, it has a short range. I think it's like 8 meters, so understand what 8 meters is. I think I wasted it a few times when I first played Domina. Okay. Yep. JT, thanks for the 15 months of the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, JT. Here you are. Okay. Good job. Use the AoE. Again, here's the thing. Here's what's happening, and I'm noticing it. You understand you have to use it, but you take your time, right? And just send it. Like, just hit that button again next time. Because that D.Va would have been DMAX even prior. I think, like, there's a world where you could shut down this D.Va way more than you are, and you're just not. The D.Va's not making it pretty hidden on what their play is, so. Take the TP, 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 take the TP. I want you to take that TP and put a shield. Okay, so one way to get early map control, at least in my opinion, is just to take that TP up there and just start getting any limbs you can. The map control is created for you. Take that map control. You don't need 3 on cart to be able to take this, but one thing you can do is shut down their rotation on the next part. So I'm going to take that TP next time. I have a shield, and then you're going to get a free kill and a widow. You're going to maybe get a jetpack cat. The point I'm making is they're not going to put any pressure on your team because they're going to be worried about you here. But not taking that TP now gives them an opening, right? Maybe they won't take it, but they have a chance now. And that part could have been prevented. Even the chance of you just going up there and doing that play. Thankfully, they end up going in and feeding anyway, but I would have liked to see that play happen. If spaces get, like, created with a TP, you take that space. So, There's a TP again. You could take that up there right now. You could take that up there right now. Okay, never mind. Okay, there's your shield. First shield in a while. I think you could have had one more shield rotation during that. Okay, now you have your ultimate. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this ultimate in a proactive way, which means be aggressive with it. Ready? Get up there and don't give him a chance. Let's Domina ult this. Let's go. Let's hit that Domina ult. Yeah, right now. This is it. This is your moment. They've used it. There it is. No. Go forward with it. Use your ult. It's right there. Oh, man. So here's the thing. You use your ult, but do you see how you're so delayed in the timing? Like, you would have had 4 in that if you used that right when I was calling it. Again, I think your hesitation's really hecking up your play right now. I think you're just so hesitant on your ability usage. Like right there, that D.Va should never die to the Widow should never die to the D.Va. Why? Because you could have prevented the D.Va from doing that by just slamming them back. Aim that towards the wall against the Torb. I know you're gonna somehow win this, which is the crazy part. Okay, ready? Slam them against the wall. Okay. Nope. Now you're button mashing. You gotta slow everything down. In these situations, okay, the easiest way to win an overtime fight is to slow everything down. I feel like when the overtime number hits, everybody starts to panic a little bit. It's like, oh, what do I do? Where do I go? What do I do? What's my play? What am I gonna do? Stop doing that part of it, okay? Stop doing that part of it. Just slow things down. Take your time. That is how you're gonna win a team fight. Also, Chaotic Alyssa, thank you for the tier 1. I appreciate that. Thank you, Chaotic Alyssa. That you gotta slow it down though, okay? Right there, you hit a bunch of buttons, and the buttons certainly were there. That was a remake double kill, yes, because they both hit behind the wall. Like you mashed your buttons. Thankfully, your teammates get back in time, but that's not always gonna happen. So, using maximum efficiency and ability usage, true. Now I understand if you're afraid to get off cart, right? Now I understand. Like, beforehand, you still had about 30 seconds when I was starting to call for stuff. Now I can understand if you want to be a statue. Straight up. You can be a statue right now if you would like to be. Now you can control a corner with just that AoE. It's a short cooldown, right? Like it's not the super long, longest cooldown. Yep, remember there's people in front of you. That D.Va. There you go. Also try to aim towards walls, by the way. Because if you aim towards walls, that's going to give you the stun effect. Very much like Doomfist does. Okay? Right there, you kind of got rolled, but like that was kind of a team effort roll. Somehow this is still going. And that's a really well-timed Mizuki ultimate. I love this that we have a front row seat in overtime. Okay, I think your teammates are getting it. Why do the two supports and the other team have the same name? Because you can have the same name as people in Overwatch. Yep, there's no like, it just adds extra number. It just adds numbers at the end of your name. Dude, your team clutched that. I feel like the other team should have won. So speaking of target focus and patience, damn. Their team, hecked that one up a little bit. Okay. You're going to be the one to tank this. Go in front of the cart. Yep. I want to kind of talk about this because I think that sometimes people will go all over the place with the card. If you're the tank there, I want you to go in front to lead. So this is what I do, and it usually works when a Bastion has ultimate towards the end. I want you to move forward in front of the cart, so that way as the cart's pushing up with you, they're either forced to ult just you, or they ult backwards and your teammates have a safe spot to go into. Does that make sense? So like, in this overtime situation, the cart's going to keep pushing forward, and you're going to stick with it, so you go in front of it, which is going to force the ultimate forward, and then your teammates have 2 safety nets. They can back all the way up, or they can move to your part of the map. And if they put the ultimate in front also, like kind of like in like a one at a time forward, you'll still survive that because now you can back up. So you see what I'm saying? How like, it just kind of gives you an easy entry point for your teammates to escape. It's not always going to work that way, but it's a good thing to keep in mind. Pop your ult immediately. Pop your ult. Pop. Yep, I honestly, ult in the Bastion's fine because the Bastion's going to be the one that gets the most effectiveness. There you go. Just keep shooting at the D.Va. Keep pressuring D.Va. There you go. AoE the point, which is the E or whatever. Sorry, I keep saying E. I know you're on console, so whatever the thing that when you snap your finger. That ability. Whatever it's called. The crystal one. There you go. So, again, you're running into the same issues. You play actually too safe at times, and I think that's easily fixable. So that's the good news. It's very fixable. At least in my opinion.
Switching sides. Initiating match.
Yep. Okay. Go forward. We're 20 minutes in. Now you're on defense. Let's see how your defense goes. Holy crap, dude. What a game this is.
5, 4.
You said the right bumper's E? Okay, yeah, there you go. Whatever the button is. People in the comments can always do that too, you know. This time you chose no shield. I'm okay with that. I mean, as long as you're not pushing there, I'm okay with no shield at the beginning. That's totally fine. Now you have it for this cooldown. I would put the shield up soon. Right now. So, right now. Yes. Now, I want to point something out here because there's a little bit of... this is what I would have done personally. I would have put the shield actually like right here because what would have happened is the D.Va still would have been out of position and no one here can follow up and it gives you the opportunity to push up and create space. See what I'm saying? So, like, I would have actually put it here and you have cover right here at this doorway and by the... this doorway is cover. And by the time that, like, your next shield is up, all your cooldowns should be up and you can just back away and do the same thing. See, because you have cover from here to here, and then you can shield out that way. So I would have actually put it up a little bit further. Just gives you a little bit more wiggle room and denies their space for a little bit longer. All right, Reaper behind you. Yep. Don't be distracted by the Reaper too much. Prevent that D.Va. Look what you did to that D.Va's HP right away, by the way, by just doing that early pressure. No. Stop worrying about the D.Va. At a certain point, you have to recognize that you cannot help with that D.Va, and the best thing you can do is control the front line. Or their back line, that is. You can go up there now. They're down 2. See, like, you can tell there's a lot of, like, difference of how you have to play over time, but if they're down multiple right there, you go get that D.Va, right? It's when the D.Va goes in a 5v5 situation that you need to be that stalwart, right at the front of the line, like, making sure they're not going anywhere. Shield down, but to the left is that Reaper. You knew the Reaper was there last time, but I will give you a little bit of wiggle room on that one. As in, like, you were putting the pressure forward. You did push up a little bit further, but I think that just ended up being a good play by Reaper. I think there's a chance I even go down to the Reaper there because I'm just feeling I'm just being aggressive and it's working, right? So, anyway. We'll see.
Behind me now.
There it is. Okay, just wait. Also, a little bit of a note here. You don't have to rush to the point either. You now have the opportunity to... Okay. And your teammate went and fed here. One thing I want to reiterate in these type of situations is that you don't have to run to the point now. What is going to be the point? If you win the team fight, you win the team fight, the game's over, right? So, like, your teammate's going to the cart there. It doesn't make any sense. You take a good team fight. It's already 6-3, right? You don't need to go fight for the point at this point because once the team fight's won, the game's over. That's it. The game is over. So now what your teammate did, and this is, a reminder to everybody who, returned to Overwatch or didn't know this, there's overtime spawns. So the reason why overtimes get a little bit wonkier and you find that you can make these really cool comebacks is because there's technically a comeback mechanic. And that mechanic is you have longer spawns if you win. There's longer spawns, straight up. That's it. That's the comeback mechanic. So with the longer spawns, there's less team fights per point, which means there's a reason why. You've ever been in a game where like the team with 4 minutes loses to the team with 1 minute? It's because the team with 1 minute actually has the overtime spawns, which can minimize one team fight per point, which means that they can push the cart really far. But then when you have your 4 minute clock, you don't have those overtime spawns, so there's one extra team fight. Do you get what I'm saying? So basically, for anybody here, it's okay to give up the point when you have a lead like this. Win the team fight, don't feed. Anytime you give up these free team fights, that's how you give up this point. Okay? That's how you give up this point. Your team staggers, and now look at these spawns. You're waiting forever, right? You're waiting forever. The next team fight won't even happen until the middle of the point where you would normally have it happen right where that Juno is. Even when, and they put 1 on card. Keep in mind, if they had 3, it'd be way further up. So now it's 1 team fight per second. That's just a good play. That's just sick. I got nothing for you on that one. Good play. That's it. That's all I got. That was just a good play. Not even mad. Sometimes you just got to nod your head and go, that was just a good play. I don't even got anything. Yeah, that's good. You're probably even typing that right now like, good play. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing. That's just a good D.Va ult play. Go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. Run forward, run forward. Go, 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 go. Oh, come on, team, everybody. This is why you don't even need your Mizuki there. So once the D.Va's behind, it's a 4v4 on cart. Dude, I want you, Chad, I want you to, like, take the information you're given sometimes because there's a free path to possibly win this game, and it's right in front of us. So up top, there's a number. That number shows you how many are on the cart, right? So my vision of this, okay, and hi, how's it going? My vision of this is what I see, okay? This is what I see. We saw a Reaper. There's a D.Va behind, which means now there's only 3 on cart maximum. But I'm looking up top. Means there's 1 person on cart, which means that right now, if your teammates get to the point immediately with a beat, you win the game. They will not be able to come back and save your team. They have no ultimates. There's nothing that would make me like say, don't do this play. There's technically 2 on cart. I guess Juno doesn't count, which is random. Do you think if your team TPs, pops beat, and runs to the cart right now, these 2 players right now will win? Do you think that a Juno and a Widow can win this right now? If your team, actually, I'll even one up this to make it even easier. Simwall TP beat Mizuki, everything at once on the cart right now. The game's over. They will not be able to come back and save them. They have no ultimates. The D.Va's just out of range. You have all this play. You should not lose this team fight at all. Like, there's an opportunity here. Pay attention to that number up top. I've won many games where I see that as D.Va or like as any type of tank. I see there's 1 on there and I just book it. And I know that I basically just need to win the duel and that I have time to work with because they're kind of all over the map. Now, I'm not saying if there's 1 person there to just run it down mid, but you have the tools and the utility right now to go win this play. I'm just saying. We'll see what your team does, what your reaction is. But on paper, you should not lose this team fight. You're here. Okay. Now you just need a TP. That's it. Or a beat. Ready? Go. Go. All right, let's head over there to that point now. Everybody's here. You don't want to give them any space. Everybody's here. The longer you give them time to get a pick, though, the worse it gets. Look at the cart. There's a Widow. It's just a Widow and a Juno. Please. Just, oh, please. You're going to win this. Just run at the Widow. You can push the Widow. You win right here, right? Right? Target focus. Be patient. It's free kills. Target focus. Yep, and there you go. And then your Lucio came back and popped beat in the cart after. Do you see how all of this would have been solved by a TP alt stack play and you would have won? Instead, your teammates took the... This is what I was kind of talking about. You cannot slow the gameplay down like you did right there. Oh, you have a Zarya swap at the end here. I was going to pause. The only thing... Okay, let me kind of give you an idea here. And this is why tracking ultimates can also be important, okay? Keep in mind, tracking ultimates does not mean being 100% accurate. It means being like 80%, like you're close to the ult track. if you know they popped a bunch of ults, you already saw Reaper ult, you already saw their support ultimates, you saw the D.Va ult combo, that's everything. Everything's out of the picture right now, okay? Why are you slowing the team fight down? Because the only way that I get back into those games is when they slow things down. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, if you slow a team fight down, the only team that wants this team fight to slow down is the attacking team, to give them time to build ults and get picks. You're not trying to get picks. That's why I was being so adamant about, you have the blueprint right here. You TP, you pop beat, you pop every single ultimate, and the game is over. Instead, you just give up a team fight, you use all your ultimates, and now I know why the game went to 35 minutes. Because this game should have ended right when they did that D.Va ult play. That was it. They had nothing left. Unless they got a random pick, which they didn't even do that. So, anyway, that was a team effort loss right there, by the way. Team effort loss. And again, just to go back to something that you need to work on, your patience in those really intense team fights, you just need to slow it down. You're getting too, like, oh no, I need to kill 5 people at once. Well, if you don't kill one of them, it's not going to matter about the other 4. Now your team's doing what... This is the reason why I have a bingo card slot that says everybody runs it down mid to an overtime. You had a whole retake here. Why run it down mid again? Now you need to slow it down. Give your teammates time. It was misplayed across the board here. And I think when you watch this back, you'll start to understand that I'm seeing a lot of hesitation out of you. And it's so fixable. It is so fixable. The good news is if your number one issue is that hesitation, that you'll fix that in no time. You might feed your cooldowns a little bit, but then that's where you have to find the middle ground. Some way I've always described it, and this is something that is described in sports sometimes, is you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And when you play not to lose, you end up playing way too safe, and that's how you lose games, right? But when you play to win, yes, there's a little bit more risk, but you're more likely to win more when you're the one playing to win and the other team's playing not to lose. So, anyway, I hope that's kind of like a helpful note for you. Let's see how your attack goes.
5, 4, 3,
I mean, yeah, tunnel vision exists there too, yep.
1.
But it just, they're starting to panic in those long team fights. Anyway, let's see what happens on your attack here. Let's go. You can lose by playing too aggressive, but like playing to win is not. To kind of pause here. Playing to win does not mean playing aggressive, right? Playing to win is using your cooldowns more. Taking map control, right? That's it. You're not running at the cart. You're taking map control. So like playing to win doesn't necessarily mean you just run it down mid to the cart and that's it. You're playing to win. It's about recognizing taking 5 extra seconds to establish your teammates to a better spot. 3 extra seconds to come up with a plan. Things like that. Like you're playing to win, but you have purpose to that victory. You have a reason, a game plan. When you play not to lose, you just kind of don't do anything. You're just kind of hoping they make a mistake, and that's how teams lose. You see it in sports all the time where like, I can give you like let me give you a basketball reference. Your team's up 15 with 5 minutes left in the fourth, and rather than, continuing to play the way that they did to win, they just start dribbling the ball till 22 seconds, shooting up a contested 3, and the next thing you know, there's a minute left and you're down by 2 because you spent the whole time just dribbling the ball out rather than just going to play to win. Now, the odds say you're going to win those games, but that's how those comebacks happen, is when those teams start to just okay, we got here by driving the lane and throwing a ball out for a wide open 3, right? We're winning that way. But then you stop doing that and you just dribbling the ball at like the half court and then you're taking contested 3s, and then next thing you know, it's a close game and you lose that game or it becomes way too close. Anyway, I just want to point that out. I also am a Celtics fan, so early, not the current Celtics, but a few years ago before they won a championship, that's what they did all the time. Fourth quarter hits, let's dribble the ball. So I had to bring that one there. Anyway, it's the same thing with like zone defenses and like the NFL, prevent defenses, things like that. So continue on. Oh, I know all the sports, right? So here we go. Up we go. Okay, so you lose your Moira. Keep in mind, that means you're gonna have to play a little bit safer. So let's talk about like kind of the vision of what I'm looking for here, Chad, right? And I think a lot of people want to know, what do you do in this situation? You're down a Moira. You can't get out, right? There's just no way you can get out. So what I would say is this: go to the stairs. You have free cover here, and you go, why the stairs? Like, what is this gonna do? Well, if the D.Va over pushes you, the D.Va's now out of line of sight. So the idea behind this part is they now have to worry about this angle. Okay? Apparently your Sim's having a blast. But you have to worry about this angle. So if you get here, the D.Va feels obligated to either push you or back up. If they go to your back line, now you have the ability to actually see that and then push up here again and take map control. But if you just stand here in the middle of the open and do nothing, you're going to get nothing done, right? You're just going to get nothing done, and you're going to end up in the same spot. So let's see what your reaction is. You should be taking the left stairs up for a second. Okay. This can work too, because they all fell back randomly when your Symmetra went up there. But now you're losing contain. This is why I wanted you to take the bridge. Thankfully, it seems to be working out for you, but like, look what's happening. It's a lot closer than it should be, right? So the simple play of just walking up those stairs and then going across that little bridge there, you're still alive in this team fight. Instead, you go the more safer, I don't know where I want to go route, and they get you, and it becomes a risky team fight again. Yes, you win, but do you see why the simple 2-second difference of going up those stairs? That's a play-to-win situation. Okay? And this comes from experience. I've had many moments where I go, crap, I didn't take the space I should have taken. Like, oh, man, that's on me. Like, because sometimes you played a little bit too safe, but that's why we're reminding you that there's a lot of opportunity here to just win this game for your team. And I've seen you kind of give up that opportunity a few times. All right. I want you to shield up somewhat early here. Okay, well, good luck to whoever got taken there. Your Moira did. So that's a surprising take. If your Moira dies there, it's not your Moira's fault. I just want to point that out, chat. That was not the Moira got pulled into the team. Okay, good job here. Shield up immediately. I want you to shield. There you go. And the reason why you want to shield up immediately, chat, is you're down one still, so you need to give your teammates time to just like feel like there's a safety net. Now you have a basically defense matrix. For anybody wondering with Mizuki Ultimate, just think of it as defense matrix for D.Va in a giant circle. If you're inside of it, you can get shot at. Most people won't push into it. Obviously, there's communication levels where you can. Outside of that, to the number one question people will have, can you survive a D.Va ult? Well, I would say you could try. It's not going to go well, to answer your question. Yes, the D.Va ult will kill your team no matter where you are. One note I did learn, though, is it can technically line of sight Sigma Ultimate. That's a helpful tip for anybody. I did have a Sigma Ultimate ruined by that. So a little bit of a note here, just to look out for that if you can. But yes, so there you go. You can hack up a Sigma Ultimate with it, is what I'm saying. It happened to me. I was so confused. Do beams go through? Yes, you can. As Dominar, you can attack through that. So now, obviously, there's a Widow hitting the shots. I think this is still winnable if you use your ultimate correctly. I want you to really, the moment they're in front of you, I want you to like launch this out. Don't even hesitate. You notice how your Mei had that? Okay, look what your Mei did. Okay, here's the difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. Okay, your Mei goes, we're in an overtime fight. I can't lose this team fight. Let me pop my ultimate. Does it get anybody? Does it get anybody? Sure doesn't. But what does it do? It backs him up. It makes him have to go back for a play. Also, I hate to break it to you, you better have a shield ready because you're about to get absolutely annihilated by an ult here. But instead of you making the play, your Mei does it. Now you still have the opportunity, but you got to make this play immediately. I want to see this ult now. Okay, you can shield this. They hacked it up. Well, let's talk about this very quickly. One, I thought that was going to save you too. Number two, there's the difference right there. A team that played to win versus a team that played not to lose. Who won the team fight? The people who made the play. All of that could have been solved if you popped your ultimate when they were all in front of you because you would have had the cat. You probably killed a jetpack cat and you win the whole team fight. Instead, because you play not to lose, your team loses the team fight and they're the playmakers. You see the difference there? That's why I'm getting... I know I've been very adamant about that to you, about how like you're so hesitant on plays, but I really think that's the difference. It's not a mechanics issue, right? Like, you're fine. Your mechanics are fine. You know, obviously, a missed shot here or there, like, that happens, but look what's going on right now. Like, you're losing team fights because you're just not willing to make that extra step to make a play. And that's going to be the make or break. What rank is this diamond? All right, let's see what happens next, Jack. Can they hold this and win the game? Or will they end up losing it after this long 35-minute game? Let's find out, because there is a stopping point to it. Let's see. Let's see.
If you want my help, you better be dying.
Power at my fingertips.
Attackers.
Watch for that sniper.
All right, here we go. I would shield this corner now because I think the sniper can take away too much map control. So I would remember the left side Reaper though. This happened to you last time. Okay, I don't know. I got no idea what your Moira is doing there, so that's on your Moira. There you go, nice. You have sight of the Reaper now, so I want you to keep that in mind the rest of this round. Shield up, 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 shield up. Again, you just gave up what? 40% baby D.Va charge to that D.Va by not shielding up right away. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but in this type of game, those extra few seconds can make or break. Right? Also, a little bit of a tip here, and this could be helpful for players. If you're the D.Va in that situation, just ask your jetpack cat to fly you back to spawn and swap heroes very quickly. This is a very old tip, but some players still don't utilize it. If you're at the beginning of a game and you're not giving up too much D.Va ult charge, like say you're not at 80%, you're at like 20, just have your jetpack cat fly you back to spawn very quickly, and then just like switch to like, Roadhog, and then switch back to D.Va. You'll get your suit back, and you'll, at the very least, if you had 15% ult charge, you'll get 15% back. So rather than waste your time trying to get your suit back very early in the game, if you have a jetpack cat, don't be afraid to have them fly you back to spawn, swap to another hero, and then swap right back. And then you have your suit back, and you basically didn't waste any time. Outside of that, like, few seconds you did that. Am I in the blizzard right now? Yes. Technically, my whole town has no power right now from what I saw, but I'm on a generator, so I'm actually able to stream because of it. It's also why I'm not willing to risk some rank games today. So, yes, but I have that, Seabird, I have the same storm that you have right now. I'm already up to like 1.5 feet, and it's still going for another like 10 hours, if not longer. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, let's continue on here. Yeah, I always try to give some good feedback on this. Did your sweat, is it warm there? Yeah, we have more storms coming this week, too. Yeah. Pushing back into the May wall, remember that. Like right there, I see you missing out on an opportunity to demech this D.Va sooner. You actually opted to not do that. Don't. Okay, let me get this straight. This whole game, you have been so hesitant the whole time to hit your buttons. Finally, when you need to save your ultimate, you launch your ult. You just gotta clean this up. I'm just telling you, like, that has been the difference. Like right there, the reason why you save your ultimate in that situation is because you're down 3, which means that you have another team fight. Oh, good luck. Well, they didn't get anybody. Like, that's it. So you just gotta, your decision making has been a huge part of this. To your left, there was some, yep, I was gonna say that was a free kill if you saw him. See ya. Tunnel vision. You still have time. Your team, I'm gonna be honest with you, if your team loses this, it's because your team does not know how to play in overtime. Straight up.
A problem with the method.
Where am I? Like northeast in Massachusetts. Or not northeast, I'm in Massachusetts, not like northeast. Like northeast is where I'm at. But I'm from Massachusetts, yeah. And we're currently having a blizzard. And I'm currently running on a generator. Because all the power's out. But thankfully it works. Did they ever consider doing a K-pop Demon Hunters collab? Oh yeah, well, I mean, oh yeah, I'm sure one of the people at Blizzard's a huge K-pop fan, and I know he would love to have. Yeah, I'm sure they're already working on it, if they can. Okay, get aggressive, get aggressive, get aggressive, get up there, get up there, get up there, just run at them, be a distraction, go to their back line, don't play it safe, run up there, put a shield, anything, help your teammate, go forward. Okay, we gotta talk about this. You don't wanna back up in these situations because if you go forward, that's how you're gonna control the space. You're not, at this point in the game, you need to recognize, okay, you're no longer sitting here playing this safe. You need to go up here. This was your opportunity. You have to go in front of your teammate. If you do that, you get a kill on Juno. Your May gets more value. Your Sim can find a good opportunity to the wall. But if you just stand there like a statue, which, again, a lot of Dominus gameplay will be statue gameplay because of how you play, just very much like Sigma. But it is overtime in a 7-7 game. You get up to that cart in front of your team and you win the team fight. You take this game and you go, hey, sorry y'all had to wait 35 minutes for us to win this game. That's how you take the game. But if you sit here, it gets a lot riskier. We'll see what can happen, though. There's the sim wall. That's certainly a sim wall that does not hurt their team for now. It kind of does, but it's like not the worst. Shield up in front. No, not behind the sim wall. Okay, I guess it's fine because of timing. Okay, ready? Keep going, yeah, keep going. Keep up there. Run forward, go forward. Go, keep going up. Keep going forward. Go forward to the other side of the... Okay, anyway, you did win the team fight, so that's the good news. So good job. But listen, you have a hesitation problem in Overwatch right now that is easily fixable. And I want you to remember this when I'm sitting here telling you to go forward in those situations. The reason why you go forward in those situations is to take the space away from their team. If you let them stay behind the cart, you're giving them free cover, right? Your teammates are the ones that pushed up and got the kills. But if you're saying, hey, I'm going to let you have this free cover, and that's what you're going to do, you'll lose those games. So the number one thing to work on going forward is that hesitation. Because if you fix that hesitation, this game was over at like 5-4 or something ridiculous, or 6-3. No, sorry, 6-5 actually. Because remember that moment where you had all the ultimates, you didn't win? Hesitation is what will lose games for you. And that's what's going to lose games in general because, again, going back to that analogy of playing not to lose instead of playing to win is going to lose you more games than you think. So more cooldown usage, less hesitation, more safe aggression. Remember, cover to cover. That's where you want to go, like from one set of cover to the next, and you're going to win more games. Mechanics were fine. You seem to be able to aim on them for the most part. Take advantage of your abilities. There's a D.Va in front of you near a wall. Hit that button to slam that D.Va against the wall. Now that D.Va is going to lose half their HP. But do not sit there and be so hesitant because you're going to lose game after game after game and wonder why. Because the mechanics that you're seeing are aligning, right? You're seeing yourself hit shots. So you're going, oh, my shots are hitting. I don't know what's wrong. But there's more to Overwatch than just hitting your shots. It's the rest of the game. Because at a certain point, as you climb, everybody's hitting their shots. It's what you do next that wins you those games. So less hesitation, more aggression, more ability usage. Take that map control, learn how to take space, and you're going to win games. I'm telling you, you're going to skyrocket from there. You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Leave a comment. All of that helps. If you want to submit your own, my Discord is where to do that. Pretty much anything you submit on my Discord. And with that being said, wait, before that, if you want to watch more of these, you're going to see it pop up. We have a bunch of good videos. We're going to have them recommended. Click them if you haven't. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night. Done. Cool. All right, chat. That's one done. I have a Mizuki one to watch next, and then after that, we'll evaluate what we're gonna do. Keep in mind, I am currently running on no power, so this is generator power. So I am a little bit hesitant on doing any ranked because of it. So yeah. Okay. I was just doing it, but yeah, no power. But no, I mean, I have power technically. Like, I have power, to make that clear. I know I'm being a little bit dramatic with it, but like, if the generator wasn't on, I would have no power. Like, the whole neighborhood's out now. Does that make sense? All right, we got a Mizuki game coming up, so let's go to the next one. Yeah, I mean, technically I could have taken today off, but I can't take 3 days off, man. I suck at that. Unless I'm traveling somewhere for like an event, I can't. What is that? Circuit Royale again? Okay, we got double Circuit Royales, different point of view. We're gonna be watching Mizuki. All right, we got a Mizuki though. I think it is nice to kind of get a different perspective on this too. So
Listen to your mommy.
okay, chat. I'll be back 1 second. Hit the follow button if you haven't. If you're on YouTube, like the stream. Again, thank you for all the love, everybody. This has been awesome. I'm gonna go just upstairs, do my normal walk, check on everything, see if the generator's still going. I'm just curious if the power comes back on. The generator sounds like a giant truck's outside. I didn't know it was like that because like my recollection of like generators is always like that little small generator that like sounded like maybe like if you just put on like you turned on like a slight like lawnmower for a second. That thing sounds like a damn truck out there right now. So I don't know if it's gas powered or not. So it's actually kind of worked out when we moved to our house. They gave us the generator for free. It's one of those like it's actually an expensive one, but they were like, as part of, you choosing us as your builder, we give you a generator for free. So kind of worked out for me, right? I got a free generator, so I'm not complaining. But I'll be right back. We'll do the Mizuki VOD, and then we'll go from there. Hit the follow button if you haven't. Be right back. Appreciate y'all. Man, that thing's trucking right now, dude. Let me tell you. I thanked you, right, Danny, for the... I don't know if I did, but thank you, Danny, for the 20 months of the Prime sub. Thank you. Okay, chat. I am back. Let's do this. Let's do this VOD, and so... No, Mike. I wish. Although, actually, I don't even know. Well, we're gonna eventually towards whenever I do have to hop off today, I'll go outside and clear the generator as much as I can. Clear anything I can. I'm gonna go outside. I'm going outside in that blizzard. I'm doing it. Can't go anywhere, obviously. That would be dumb, but I can go outside. Okay, let's do this, chat. You ready? All right, so today's video, we have a Gold 5 support on PC playing Mizuki. So we get our first Mizuki VOD outside of the Pro one we watched, but that's obviously a little bit different. Supposed to be nice to see. And they say, I've been playing Overwatch way before Overwatch 2 came out, but I actually recently started playing comp, and I could really use some help. I am a Mizuki one-trick as I fell in love with his playstyle, and I think overall, this is a really fun hero. But I feel like I can do so much more than I already am doing. I have watched a lot of your videos and tried to apply as many tips as I can remember, but for some reason, I don't think I am doing enough. My team even told me that I should do more, and I really tried but couldn't deliver. I was hoping to get some pointers on how to improve and where so I can climb the ranking. My overall goal is to reach Diamond, but at this rate, I don't think I can. I think you can. I really hope you can help me out as I really love your videos, tips, and community, and I really need some pointers to reach my overall goal and also feel free to also have a laugh while we are at it. Thanks in advance. Okay, I'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. Remember, Mizuki's an interesting hero. I actually just redid my part of my tier list to put Mizuki back in a different tier, so you'll see that when that video's out soon. But here we go. Let's do this. So obviously, chat, remember with Mizuki, the range on the left click is 30 meters. If you don't understand what 30 meters in an Overwatch is, use your ping button. It becomes really easy to understand. Then you have an idea on the range. Let's see how often you kind of go through. Remember, you want to save your chains for the Vendetta, which I think you're doing the right play. Yeah, because you're on it. You're doing the right thing, because you want to deal with the Vendetta while your Ana basically keeps your Rhine alive, right? So remember, you also have a range, so try to keep yourself in the AoE range. I don't think that would have saved your Ana, but you know, leave it up for chance. Also, something that you can do, you're not using your shift a lot already, which is your kind of like your back and forth one. You can kind of use that as like an invulnerability frame, to where you can kind of like use it as like a teleport back to survive something. So if you're in like one of those weird 1v1s, please hit that button, this one right here, to be able to basically, by hitting that button, you're going to basically give yourself a second option to survive, and it could go well. Sapphire, thanks for the 40 months with the
Do
tier
not
1.
take
Thank you.
offense, but please do not play AU2 on stream. Nobody wants to watch a high-level streamer play a dead game like AU2. We can do that ourselves. We want to see something we cannot do. This is how your channel got popular in the first place. Does this AU2 establishment have a training range? Can you go there?
Hey, well, listen, all I need to do is queue up DPS, and then that high level goes away, so don't worry. All right, here we go. Thank you, Sapphire. Here we go. Yep. Don't be afraid to use your shift, by the way. Remember, you want to place your shift. If anybody doesn't understand like what it does, it's like a translocator without being able to destroy it. So a lot of players that I've watched on Mizuki are willing to be more aggressive. And what I'm starting to realize with Mizuki is you kind of can play like a very fun like off-tank style. So when your team's kind of on your back foot or like you don't know what to do yet, just hit that shift button, go in, and start blasting. Obviously, pay attention if they have like their own Mizuki, or they have a Cassidy, or they have somebody who can stun you or hinder you, because that will, or hinder you, because that will kind of send you back. But I find that you can create a lot of space that way and kind of take some pressure off your teammates. So like, for example, let's start with something very simple. I want you to use your shift right here, okay? Why right here? It's pretty safe, right? No one can really see it. They don't know where it is. Just run at them. Just go with their team right now and just do a little bit of damage, okay? You have about a 4-second window. You're going to hit the button again. You're going to end up right back here, and you're going to be safe. What they're going to do is going to cause them to turn. Ready, set, go. Hit the shift button behind there and go in. Okay, that can work too. Now hit your shift button. Okay, you already used it. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, now you're going to wait on that cooldown again. Also, if you overuse your hat cooldown, I don't blame you because it sounds cool. Okay, use that shift button. You're using your shift button a lot to disengage backwards. I want to see more of you going in. Okay, they went Anran. I don't even know if that Anran can kill the Torb turret, so I'm not even joking. How do I know this? I have a 76% win rate on Anran and top 500, and I don't even bother with Torb turrets half the time.
My neck again.
Unless I'm far away. You can't. You get out-duel. Okay, regroup. Good job of using the chains. Remember, the chains are a big part of the kit. I think as more players get better with the chain, I think more people will see the strength of this hero. Okay? Big slam. I still feel like you're button mashing a little bit on your shift. I want you to shift to the point, 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 shift to the point. Let's hit that shift button to the point. Hit that shift button to the point. So tell me, okay, let's talk about this. Right? Let's just like slow it down for a second. What would be the reason to not shift to the point there, chat? You're going to end up in the same spot you are now, but maybe there's an off chance you pick up a kill and you win the team fight. So why aren't you going to hit your shift button, right, to go to the point? Because you end up here, you're going to shoot at them, maybe you pick up a kill, maybe you distract them, and then maybe you win the team fight. All of that. You can also heal your Rhine during that who was stuck in the corner, right? I don't think the Rhine's going to survive, but why not give your Rhine an extra 2 seconds? Instead, you just sit there. There's really no point not to do it because you're going to get snowballed here anyway. So why not hit such an important cooldown? Maybe go in and win the team fight, and instead of it being 4 minutes and 40 seconds on third, you're holding second for a little bit longer. So again, I just want you to remember that cooldown exists, and I think this is where Mizuki is going to struggle for a lot of players at first, is you need to use your shift a lot more to find the value in Mizuki. Otherwise, you're going to stand there basically being a lower heal in Lucio, right? What the strength of this hero is building that number in the middle to max, and a lot of that is consistent uptime. But when you sit in kind of heal bot mode, which is what you've been doing, and I will admit, when I first started Mizuki, this is what I did, you'll just get stuck in heal bot mode, and your results will vary. But when you start to be more aggressive when you go in, that's when you get kills. And you don't even need to get a kill. You just need them to look at you. The moment they look at you, that gives your team opportunity. So, again, I just find there was no reason not to hit your button there because I think there was still a chance you could win that. Instead, now you lose the team fight. You're kind of stuck in this weird spot. You lose your Torb. Even your Torb gets a kill last second. This is all lining up to what would have been a great fight. So, either way, you have to reset, and now you're back to basically square one. So,
They got a turret. This curse.
You said the shift is risky? Yeah, well, I'm saying, like, there's going to be a world where that shift, it's going to be way less risky to use it. I think people just don't, like, pay attention to the timer as much. I'm those people. And sometimes you get yourself killed for it. But, like, there's a window where you can at least have, like, 3 seconds if you're worried about animation. You don't have to pop your ult yet. I would pop your ult next to get map control. If you don't win the team fight here. Now you don't have to pop it. You're good. You're set. Enjoy your game. Jinx, have fun. He said Onron losing a duel to a Torb turret is insane. She needs a pocket for that duel. I mean, technically you could do it. You just have to chip away at it, but, like, I have a Onron playstyle that I call On-Run, where I just kind of play hide and seek and run away the moment they see me. I would definitely pop your ultimate here now. After you kill this Onron, pop your ult, pop your ult. There you go. Now remember, they can still do damage to people inside of it if they're inside with you, or if it's like a beam or something, right? So keep that in mind. But that was a good ult. Well played. I want to see more shift usage. Now, you can get creative now with your shifts. You have them stopped. They're at a choke. So why not play at a right side angle now? Not with your team. Play like right here, okay? And then use this as your shift spot, right? Or maybe even here if you want to be safe. Shift out. Go through here. Do some damage. Shift back. Go out. Shift back. See what I'm saying? That will keep you at max. That will keep you at max for most of it, and you'll basically get way more stuff. You can do damage while inside the ult. Yes, if you go inside of the ultimate, you can damage them. Yes, so if you went in there as Cassidy, you would do damage. But if you're on the outside of the ultimate, you can't do anything. Unless you're like a Zarya or like a dominant beam, not the shot when you reach that like shot, but like the beam itself. Your soldier's doing more of that flanking than you are now. At that point, by the way, if you're running into an issue there, and you don't have your cooldowns, just right-click one of your teammates, that when the hat comes back to you, it heals you. Remember that. Your self-heal is the hat. So if you heal somebody with it, it will bounce back and heal you as, you know, obviously not a crap ton, but enough to maybe sustain you during a team fight. For a little bit. So. Okay. Let's see what you do next. You can do damage off walls, too. Why not? Doing a good job with the chains. A little bit of a tip for people with the chains, because this is something that I had to learn. Don't flick off the chain shot. Just wait. It's very sensitive when you hit the button, right? It gets really upset. No, but when you hit the button, and you're going to go down here. Again, lack of shift out of you is one of the points that out why this team fight goes here. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, basically, once you hit your shift, there's no wiggle room. If you flick your shot, that thing's going 20 feet to the left. So the point I'm making is just be a little bit patient on it. Don't overdo it, and you should be fine. So, okay, let's continue on here. Going to this part. Okay.
Get off the stage.
Yeah.
Is bombing inside of the enemy sanctuary a good strat? Yes, because if you're gonna, say you have to bomb, if you can get it inside of the ultimate, then yes, right? If I'm correct, it would force them out of it. Yes, it would force them out of it, or they would take damage from bomb. Yes. Yeah, I want to see more usage of your shift. I again feel like you're underutilizing it, and if you're gonna sit here and just do this, you might as well play Lucio. Okay. So you're new here and you're like, oh yeah, this is. I have a lot of YouTube videos on this stuff. Again, I go with some more basics at times, but I think people underestimate what basics do for you in Overwatch. Like, people want to skip the fundamentals of the game, and that's where you can get stuck at. When you skip all the fundamentals, people concentrate so hard on the mechanics, like hitting your shots, that like you end up like climbing a little bit, but then when you get to the spot you need to get to, your fundamentals are lacking, so you just miss out on so many hours of practice shit you could already be doing. Again, I feel like you're using your shift as like a, you know what it reminds me of? I feel like you're using your shift like you would use Wu Yang slide backwards. And I think that's where you're going wrong here, and I think this is a good way to kind of give you an analogy of it. You know how with like Wu Yang you use like the whatever the cooldown is to like basically go backwards and go really fast? I feel like you're using it like that when you want, yeah, occasionally you can use it like that. I want you to use it aggressively. Like, I want to see you in their back line, near their team. I want to see you do that. So, yep. But I think if you don't do that, you're going to end up feeling a bit stuck sometimes. I think you're going to be fine here because you can get your ult. Okay, now, like right now, thankfully they just got off the cart. But like, yeah, see, now we're going to return back to your spot if you need to. Like, you don't need to. Nice shot. You don't need to pop any ult here. Now, Chad, I want to give people kind of an understanding of things because sometimes some people do this to a. I want to show something here. Let me go back like 1 second. This is just a note to give to people. I always talk about it, but I want to show it in real time. Right here, when you see emongg do this is going to be really hard to kill emongg, right? And I think a lot of people will then also use their support ultimates to keep their emongg alive during this. This is the moment where Maug's lifesteal will basically, as long as the Maug is hitting shots, will survive. So I also think this is a tough part to duel emongg. So if you're ever playing against a emongg and you see this, just disengage and then go for the kill after. emongg will fall over. A lot of people will sit there and take the duel against emongg. They'll sit there, they'll try to kill him, and they won't be able to kill him. He'll charge, stun them, and then the team fight flips just like that. So look for this. This means that there's lifesteal activated and damage reduction on emongg. As well as, I think it's like, what, 20% for teammates now, or maybe they got rid of that. I forgot what they did, but anyway. So, just wanted to point that out. Notice how your emongg got no heals right there and sustained half HP? You didn't have to do any of that. This hair looks great. I know, isn't it a good pause? So, I hope that's helpful. But I mean, you're going to hear me say the same thing throughout this VOD. If you're standing here like this, you're going to lose so much value. Like, you just got to hit that shift and be aggressive. I'm telling you, you're going to get so much better if you do. How bad did you get with that storm? To give you an idea, that storm is still going. It's going for another 12 hours, and I'm currently running on a generator, so I have no power, technically. But I do, because of the generator. So yes, that should give you an idea. My whole town has no power right now. Like, the whole map is just an outage. So, okay, here we go. That's fine. That else fine. Yep. Obviously, you can't do anything about that, because, so what happened there, you're probably wondering how the ult hit you. This goes back to what we were talking about. The Ayari went into your ultimate and then pop that. You can go into the ultimate and use your abilities or your shots. If you're outside of the ultimate, it will eat everything. Does that make sense? Except, like, again, beams. Yeah. Well, Anran's different. Anran, like, same thing, same concept, but, like, dude, I feel like sometimes when I use Anran ultimate, it heals the enemy team. So that was the least of my worries there. Yeah, this will be, you can watch it, Sharky, you can watch it back on the VOD. The YouTube video will be out in a few days, so if you wanted to wait for the more edited, like, kind of, like, polished version, you can do that too. It's up to you, okay? Either way, it will be out within a week on YouTube, but if not, you can just look at one of my VODs. I mean, my YouTube has a VOD, this has a VOD, so it's still there if you want to utilize that, okay? Anyway, let's continue on. Okay. Again, a lack of shift. You're doing everything. If you want some good advice here, or like, I mean, some good feedback, you are doing everything else right from an ability usage point of view. But like, this is the equivalent of like, if you never, okay, this is not the best analogy, but it's the closest one I can see. Like, imagine never using, like, Moira's shift to be aggressive. You only ever use it to go backwards, and that's it, and you do nothing else with it. Like, yes, you're getting value, but you're not utilizing what you can do with your kit. You're just very, you basically want to play Lucio, it feels like, with the way that you play this. That soldier ran right into that, but honestly, that's one of the hardest ults to avoid because I never know where it is. Any stuff video-wise goes to my Discord. I want to point out we do get a lot of submissions, so it's a chance we get to them. There's no guarantee. I always want to put that out there for people. I don't want you to feel debated. I really, dude, I'm telling you, the moment you start being more proactive with this shift, you're gonna see why I think Mizuki is as good as Mizuki is. Big Mac, thanks for 27 months with the Prime sub. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, just wait it out. Like right now, shift, go, just go kill the pylon above you. Like this is like things you can do. You ready? You don't know what to do? Go over here, shift this way, shoot at the pylon, return back. If you kill this pylon, you've already nerfed their comp a ton because they have a Zen, right? Little things like that can make or break. Don't just stand there. Of course, you're gonna stand here and do the same thing, but like, that is what you need to do. You can pop your ult here if you'd like. So now, chat, if that, watch this. Okay, they never shot it. They must have just ate it or they missed it. So there you go. Kiwi, thanks for the Prime stuff. Thank you. Is Mizuki already meta? I don't know yet. I know Mizuki's better than people think Mizuki is, but I think that goes down to like what we're seeing. If you're not utilizing your shift, then you're probably not utilizing the hero in the way that you can. So the Mizuki did eat the ultimate. So I'm glad that we did see that. So did you see how the Mizuki ultimate ate the Ayari ultimate? That time was because rather than the Ayari flying into the Mizuki ultimate and be able to use the ult inside of the ult, the Ayari tried to shoot from the outside of the Mizuki ultimate, and the Mizuki ult ate it. Do you see what I was trying to get at with that? Of how that interaction works? How old is this replay? I'm not sure. A few days, probably. And again, I want you to look at your healing numbers, too. Like, you have 11,000 healing. You could have so much more there. You love Sigma ultimate against Mizuki. A bit of a note, though. If you put it on the outside of the ultimate, it can stop the ult. So make sure it always goes in the center. I actually did that once, where I put the Sigma ultimate on the outside to try to get him, and it counted as a wall. So remember to just make sure it goes inside the ultimate, because I did make that mistake. This is gold 5. Yes. Anyway, let's go back. Like right now. Like shift to the left to run where your Junkrat's at. Nope. Yeah, again, you're using it for the iframe aspect of it only, and even then you're not using it as much as you could. Like right now, shift up there. Why not shift up there? Put it like behind the cart, shift up there, and be at their front doors. I know I'm being very adamant about this, but this is also to help players understand timings. Like, you could easily already have this map like won, or this map held if you were just doing that. So, and I think that it's good that we got this replay, because the more and more I watch this, I think this is why I think a lot of players are saying Mizuki isn't that good, or it like doesn't seem to like, you're not meant to just sit around your team like you're playing Lucio. You're meant to end up with your team like you would play Lucio, but you got to utilize that shift. If you never utilize the shift, you're just missing out on basically 33% of your kit. Like, you're basically nerfing yourself. So, yeah. You would love to see more of the spectating and pro series stuff? Yes. So I have all 5 heroes lined up for that. I think we have 3 more to go. With me being a part of OWCS now as a streamer, I will definitely frequent those more, the pro player perspective ones. Obviously, being with Dallas Fuel, maybe I'll watch some Dallas Fuel players, kind of give that promotion there to the Fuel players, because they're great players. But the point I'm making here is, yes, I will do more of those. Keep in mind, there's about a month until pro play really returns. I know they've had the qualifiers recently. But yeah, of course we'll do those. I kind of stayed away from them a little bit last year, because I kind of just forgot, to be honest with you, because I was doing so many spectatings. So yes, I will incorporate more pro spectatings, and I will break them down even better. So yeah. Here we go. Let's see what happens here on defense. Let's see if you make any changes. Again, you're probably going to hear the same thing. I think you're using your kit correctly outside of your shift. Everything else is fine. You're saving your chains, which if you hit them is great. Perk selection, you're going the more healer style perk selection, which is okay. Keep in mind, if you're good with the skill shot, if you're good with the skill shot, I would definitely recommend the other one too. That 30% increased damage when they're chained can basically win against backline pressure pretty much every single time. So don't be afraid to get that if you feel confident in your skill shot. The other perk is kind of up in the air. So what I mean by that is the right click. The right-click shield one I like because I like the extra, like, heal I get. But the other one, if you're utilizing a team strategy and you're stacked together like this, that extra effectiveness and that buff from when your thing's on the ground could go well. I don't think that fits your playstyle, so I think the shield one is going to be the best one for you. As well as the other one. Mauga versus Mauga. Cardiac overdrive versus cardiac overdrive. There you go. Break right now. If you had your shift, I'd already be in there. Return. We got to work on your cooldown usage. I'm telling you. This would be so much easier for you. Once you watch this VOD, if you utilize this advice I'm giving you, I think you're going to level up. Like, straight up. Because, like, I don't think you realize how much you're missing out on. Cozy, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. What was the rank? Gold 5.
Want healing? Then come here. We need to stop the payload.
A little bit of a note. You said you deleting and resending your submissions. I would be careful on doing that if you're trying to just like get to the front of the line of stuff. One, Crap will notice that, and if you want to know, the Discord actually will tell you that too. It tells you if you delete something. So try not to do that over and over again. I don't want to see you get banned or anything for trying to abuse that like submission process. I would recommend not doing that. Again, if the VOD isn't like Crap goes to like 40 or 50 VODs all the time, checks things out. So just be careful of that, okay? I'm trying to save you from getting banned there. All right, I'm trying to save you from getting banned. All right, anyway, here we go. Back to this. Technically water, yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, you're using the shift like you would use the Wu Yang ability. And once you get that out of your playstyle, you're going to be in a good spot. Now, I want to reiterate, it doesn't mean you don't use it for that type of play sometimes. You just don't make it your main gameplay loop. You're going to have to do that sometimes. So, yeah. It's the same thing. No, we're not saying don't resubmit VODs. Aaron, the person said they were deleting VODs and then resubmitting them. Does that make sense? Listen, you can always put up VODs, right? Just don't delete them and resubmit them. That's it. Because, like, there's a chance that Crap already saw it, and he's just like, okay, this isn't going to be a good YouTube video, right? Because you got to remember, like, we and I'll just kind of give people hints on this one. You have to remember that our spectating is also a balance of entertainment. One thing I always wanted to do with these spectatings was be very helpful, but also be entertaining, right? I didn't want them to be purely down to the wire. You know, I got a chalkboard out. We're doing some education, right? I wanted them to be a fun watch where I give you helpful tips that can help a lot of players, but are also entertaining. So you have to find that balance. So when you're submitting something, think about that. Think about what happened in this game that could be super entertaining, right? It could be as simple as a crazy play happens that we haven't seen. It could be as simple as, holy crap, my tank had 27 deaths and we won this game, or what the heck happened. It could be, hey, I'm trying Mizuki for the first time. Hey, truthfully, we don't get a lot of bronze videos. You submit a bronze video, that might be a higher chance right now because there's not a lot of bronze players. What's another one? I'm playing Farah and I go 20 and 20 every game. Like, there's things like that if you think about that, that's a way to kind of get there, right? So, just so you know, all right? Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is like practicing leaving, and back to what you're saying, leaving their doll in like are you talking about the thing that you leave on the ground, leaving that in a good spot? They're not even doing that. I showed that example earlier of a good spot to do it at. So, yeah. When you finish your placements, there'll probably be more bronze. Yeah, we actually don't get as many bronze submissions. That's why there isn't as many like bronze bingos that you see. Obviously, the way that I watch those videos is might be different. Like, I still, give the full feedback. But if you watch the recent Widow one, sometimes they can be wild. The one where the Widow just kept shooting over and over again. Like, just kept tapping the shots. So. Any plans for any funny moments soon? Crap would know. I think there might be a replay code reset sometime soon, so we might get hecked on that one, but we'll see. Again, Same thing here. You're understanding the hero and where you're supposed to be. You're just not utilizing your cooldown. So, okay, there it is. Still winnable. Yeah, you can go inside there with your team. Just right click your teammates. Utilize your heals here. Keep your teammates topped off. You should be fine. They didn't have enough time to get the kill. Unless this Lucio's the best Lucio ever, you're probably gonna win this team fight. And there you go. It's actually crazy to me that like, if you're playing a pretty solid Mizuki, you're just basically playing the equivalent if I play D.Va without flight. You know what I mean? So it's like you got some great like mechanics here to go with, to work on. Just got to get you to use this damn ability more, because I think you're so close to being able to just pop off. So, which is exciting to see. All right, let's see how this attack goes. See if you pick up the win. See if you get the loss. Either way, let's find out. So the video was like, yeah, it was a good one, wasn't it? Mizuki's hat does go through shields. Yes, if you're trying to heal, exactly. Yep. As in, like, if you're trying, it's definitely a good interaction if there's a shield in front of you with the right click. Yep. Hey, you went forward for 1/10 of a second during that. Again, some of that someone pointed out is make sure that they're like you had your like recall right here. Just always try to put it in spots that's safe. Again, not going to be perfect, but if you need to fall back at any point, it's good to have it in a safe spot. Storm support, thanks to the 20 months of the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks. Okay. Wait a second! It finally happened, chat. It took all the way to the end of the game. About 20 minutes in, 16 minutes in, I have finally saw you go forward with this ultimate and go for a kill. Or not the ultimate, the ability. Finally. Do that the rest of the game. Straight up. I know this was a snowball fight. It was a slam dunk win on this one. You knew what you were doing. But, like, I'm telling you, you can do that the whole game. The whole game you can do that. I'm not joking. But like, crap, are you available in-game?
Sure, I'll help.
Or are you, like, power outage? Okay, here we go. Okay. Good ultimate. I don't mind this. I do like the aggressive ult there. There's your backup. Now, chat, like, that's an example of where I'm okay with you using the Mizuki play backwards, because the Reaper's right in front of your face, right? That's a good example. But, like, that's been your gameplay loop the whole time, and I want to get you out of that. Either way, good job here. Keep doing your thing. Spam up. Coming down to basically one team fight. Yeah. You have Mauga ult. They're going to have Mauga ult. Oh, that's fine, crap. I'm just thinking, like, if I want to do that D.Va guide thing that I'm thinking of doing, crap, I might need you to, like, stand still as a statue on, like, 2 maps. I just need, like, a statue for a couple things. It's something extravagant. It's just, like, the first question... the first question I have from that D.Va guide thing from back here, sorry, Chams, was... Oh, also, crap, we're not doing that, Mythbusters. It's, trust me, that ship has sailed for that one. Okay. Sly Beast, thanks to the 9 months of the primes, I think you appreciate it. So, like, the first question was, how do you decide when you fully commit with D.Va's boosters versus just poking and peeling? And, like, I kind of want to, like, have you just stand still. Also, Poop, thanks to the 132 months of the tier 1. Thanks, appreciate it, thank you. I want you to, like, basically stand still on the middle of King's Row, so I can kind of get a point across.
Are now. Amazing cars.
I'm just gonna keep going here. Here we go. All right. So like right here, I would personally use a shift right now and get aggressive up there. You have a window of opportunity. You decided not to. Okay. Like right there, why not shift away and get out immediately and then do all the, I don't know. Maybe you already used it and I missed the play. I feel like can't you iframe that too? With like just using the shift and then going back? I don't know if it will cleanse it, but you could iframe the timing of the ult. Either way, you miss out on some stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say, so you could shift that, yeah. Not it off of you, but when they pop it, you can basically avoid it. Yeah, like a D.Va bomb timing with recall. Just a little bit of a note here. Actually, you lost that. I was gonna say if you had a teammate there, and there you go, you end up losing the game. So like, let's just like, just very quickly. Also, I hate this new bug here where I can't hit the button again. But like, I really feel like right now you need to figure out that shift ability. And, or not shift. I keep saying shift or whatever. Is it E? Sorry. I might have called it shift many times. I'm talking about the translocator one. Whatever that's bound to. There's some keybind stuff you need to do. I might have rebounded, etc. Basically, use that translocator, that shift, that teleport, or whatever it is, right? It is shift, okay. Like, use that way more often. I think a lot of what's happening now where players are saying, hey, Mizuki isn't that good, this kind of goes to, like, when Brig was finally in a good spot, like, after, like, the initial burst, people were like, yeah, Brig's not good. And you come to find out, players were just healing with armor packs. That was it. Like, players were just healing with armor packs, and nothing else was happening. And you're like, yeah, Brig sucks. Like, I'm running out of armor packs. Yeah, but that's not even, that's the least of Brig's healing. The most of Brig's healing comes from proc and inspire by doing damage with your abilities, right? So the point I'm making here with Mizuki is I think we're right now in a spot with Mizuki where people are going, well, Mizuki's good, but like, why is Mizuki going to be better than this hero? And I think with your shift and your movement ability, when you don't utilize that, you're going to struggle. You actually played hot take or not hot take. I think you played a very fine game here. I think you played, if that say that ability didn't exist, I wouldn't have many issues with how you played, right? Say that just wasn't there as an ability. I feel like you played that pretty fine. You were with your teammates, you were hitting your heals, you hit your shots when they were in range of you. You did a good job, but then you had a whole nother button that you never hit. And when you did hit it, you used it like you were playing Wuyang. So, start utilizing that, being more aggressive. Doesn't have to be in a ranked game. Go into a quick play for a few games. Start going in there aggressively. Start getting that muscle memory time. And of like 4 seconds, I'm out. I'm back to my spot. Now I'm at max this. I can heal. I can damage. You're going to win so many more games if you do that. I'm telling you. So work on that. Anybody learning Mizuki, work on that. And you're going to see the value of this hero, because this hero, I think, is a lot better than people think. And it starts with using all of your abilities correctly. But you got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Leave a comment. All of that helps. If you want to submit your own, my Discord's where to do that for pretty much anything. So !Discord in my chat. I don't know why I said that, because you're watching a video. It's in the description. Also, if you want to watch more of these, look on the side here. You're going to see a video pop up. Make sure to click that. It's going to be a good one. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night. Done. All right, chat. So those are the recordings. I felt like those were very good. I was very happy with those. I'm going to go pee, and then chat. I've had this D.Va guide. I've had to record for a while. Just to give people something to kind of iterate here into why I'm doing this. I currently am running on a generator right now. I don't know if my power is going to randomly go out. I've never really had a generator to do that stuff, so I'm doing a lot of recording stuff today. I have a meeting at 1:30 regardless, so that's my cutoff time regardless. So I figured, why not record some videos on my backlog? I have a whole style of video I can record right now. I don't need all the footage now. I just need to record my voice talking about the questions, and maybe I can get some more stuff from chat to go with this. So if y'all are down, are you ready for me to record my first ever Q&A guide? It's a new style of guide I want to do where I have people submit questions about a hero, and that way I have an idea of what people are looking for, rather than me just kind of going, this is D.Va. You shoot your rockets, they do damage. I want questions. So this is my first ever Q&A guide is what I'm calling it, to where basically it's a guide. It's going to sound weird. It sounds like I'm selling AI. It's a guide created for you, basically, right? To like kind of, rather than me guess what you need to know, answer the questions that you want to know. And because sometimes I can miss that. So anyway, I'm going to go pee. I'm going to grab a tea, actually, if I even have a tea, and then we're going to record that, and then we'll go from there, okay? Sound good? I'll be right back. Hit the follow button if you haven't on YouTube, like the stream. Let's do this. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with me. Also, dude, that's it. I was just looking outside, man. Dude, it is crazy. There are some trees that are, let me tell you, I don't even know how they're still standing. One of them already broke, like, in half. Like, it is crazy. I was looking out, dude, it is. Where the cats are upstairs. Because I was looking outside, dude, it is crazy. So. Okay, chat, you ready for, like, a random impromptu D.Va guide that, like, is going to be me more talking than anything, because eventually we're just going to use it for, we're going to be using it for other stuff. Yeah, of course Lonnie's here, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lonnie was just telling me how her friend's husband, they were trying to force her to him to go to work today. And what's outside? Yeah, what does he do? He works at a toy company, and they were, like, trying to get him to go in, and they're getting mad.
At Firebrand Long Plays.
Firebrand, thanks for the 10 months of the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Firebrand Long Play celebrates 10
Holy
months
crap.
of membership. Be safe out there, y'all. It's terrible out there.
And yeah, thank
Anyways,
you. It is.
Wow,
it's crazy.
almost a year less than 3.
Yeah, they finally canceled it because you can't. You literally, if you tried traveling in this right now, chat, you would not be able to travel in this. I'm just saying, like, it's legitimately. I barely can see outside because it's so much snow and wind. And I'm in that orange section right now of the snow where it's like 3 inches an hour of snow, which is like, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different, chat. I know this is again. I'm trying to avoid playing games because, like I said, all this, like, you know, as you can tell, we have a lot of storm here, so I'm trying not to overdo it. Even Lonnie was saying that we need to. When we looked up our generator, we can't overdo it apparently. So I don't want to lose my generator like stuff either. So we'll see. All right, here we go. All right, so I basically, to give everybody an idea here, and again, this isn't going to be like the full video you're going to see. I'm doing this because I've had this kind of here with all these questions, and I figured let's start with this. I'm not going to have much in-game footage here, chat, so it's a lot of Q&A. But eventually this will be put into like a fully edited video that will be done after the tier list is done. So let's do it. Let's have some fun. If I see any questions I want to do after, we'll go from there. Crap. Honestly, you can go shovel, dude. Do your thing. I don't need any footage. We can do all this footage later. Rush Dog, thanks for the 28 months with the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. You're in the same boat. It's not as intense. Oh, damn. But thank you for the 28 months. Okay, so I'm going to go through these questions. I don't know how long they'll take. We don't have a ton, but we have a good amount. So here we go. So the first question I have for this D.Va guide was, what's the priority with missiles? Oh, no, sorry, that's not the right one. This is the top one. How do you decide when to fully commit with D.Va's boosters versus just poking and peeling? What cues do you look for in a fight? Okay, so it's a great question because with D.Va, I've always talked about how D.Va is a backline assassin, right? The idea behind D.Va is you go into their backline, you get a kill, you survive long enough, right, in the backline. You survive long enough in the backline to fly away. That's basically what you want to do. Now, what do I look for in those situations, right? Well, it depends. It's a little bit different now because I think you can overcommit since the new sub-roll passive, and I'm glad I waited to do the video till then because the sub-roll passive is when you fly in the air. I think it like activates after what, like 0.8 seconds or something. But basically when you're in the air, you heal. And it's allowed for me to finish games as D.Va with 3,000, 4,000, sometimes 5,000 healing, which is like 2 extra ults, way more survivability. So I think there's a little bit of new playstyle you can also bring to the table here with D.Va. But to the question of what cues do I look for in a fight, cooldown usage. It's the most important thing, right? Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you an example of a hero you don't normally dive, but where I would take advantage of this. I just watched the Genji go into my team, not get a kill, dash away, and use deflect. Right away. That's a free kill, right? I'm looking for advantages there. Not a hero you would normally dive, but I see a Genji use deflect and dash out. Go kill the Genji for free, right? At the very least, if you see that Genji, gets help from a break, now you have 2 people looking at you and you've done exactly what tanking is. It's creating space, correct? So a lot of the cues come down to who's out of position, right? Is there a Zenyatta for free in the back? That's a free kill for D.Va. You're a backline assassin. Does that Zenyatta have ultimate? Well, now I need to think about, okay, I'm going to get Zenyatta ultimate out, but then my game plan is to survive what comes next. So I need to play around the idea that I need to position myself to fly away from the Zenyatta. Do you see how there's a lot of like, I don't know if nuance is the right way to describe it, but there's a lot of different variations to that, but just simplify it to make it the easiest way ever on when to fully commit with D.Va boosters versus poking and peeling. They use an important cooldown. There isn't 5 of them right there standing still ready to kill you. That's your opportunity. An example I'm going to give in the video is against a Zarya, right? If you're on King's Row. A lot of people see a Zarya on King's Row defense. They go, well, I can't play the game anymore. That's it. I got to go to spawn. I see a Zarya on first point King's Row. I do this. No, I'm just kidding. I just fly up top behind them. Now I have an opportunity, right? That Zarya needs to make a decision. Am I going to pop all my bubbles? Well, if I see a Zarya use all their bubbles while they're just sitting on the middle of the point and I'm flying around them in like that backside of first point King's Row, and we'll show this example in the video, like, what can they do? So all I need to do is wait. I can sit there. I can wait for a cooldown. I can wait for them to be aggressive. I can wait for Zarya to pop 2 bubbles. Do you see what I'm saying here? Is you can eventually just pick and choose your team fights that's going to be advantageous to you. D.Va's very hard to peel for. Not as hard as, let's say, like a Doomfist right now. Actually, no, I actually think D.Va's harder to peel for than Doomfist, actually. Doomfist is kind of like a very clear-cut way, and you can still survive the initial stuff. D.Va can pretty much backline assassin you. So it's just something I want to get people in the habit of remembering. Look for those cooldowns. Go in, make your plays, but always have an escape plan too. If you do that, people are gonna ban D.Va on you because D.Va's gonna be so good. The mistake people always make on D.Va is, I gave you the example of Zarya. People play D.Va like Zarya. I made this example for everything. You are D.Va. You are playing D.Va like D.Va. Okay. So keep in mind, I'll get to the chat. If you don't mind holding some of those questions for after I get through my initial questions here, would that work? So save them up. Does that seem like a fair plan? Because as I'm kind of explaining this, I'm going to look away from chat sometimes, and I'm going to miss like those questions. So I would say save those questions for when I finish up the ones I have right here, okay? And then if there's anything else that I think is like really cool for it, we'll add to it. Does that sound good? Sound good? Okay. So there you go. That I think that covers the first question. It's pretty straightforward of pay attention to cooldowns, look for your opportunity, don't do that. I think that's a pretty straightforward way to explain that, and I'll show an example or two in that one. So, okay, next one here is, what's the priority with missiles? What do you do with it, and when is it good to maybe save it? I mean, this kind of is a connection to the other question. Missiles are basically used to get free kills and burst damage on people in front of you. I actually think missiles is probably one of the more high uptime abilities you're going to have, in the sense that you're going to be using them a lot. I don't really look to save them. I don't like I'll give you, if you want an example of when to save them, we can kind of use the Genji example. I know Genji has Blade. I know we have to kill Genji quickly. I'm going to save my missiles to either force out a deflect right away or get a free kill on the Genji. Does that seem like a good way to kind of answer that? Of like, a Genji has Blade. I know they have Blade. There's 2 ways to disrupt a Blade. Well, 3, but like there's only 2 ways you can do it with D.Va. You either kill them, right away with all your damage, or they deflect, and now they've already kind of stopped their loop that they're looking for, right? So, you know, moments like that where you're trying to track an ultimate, but for missiles, they just do a lot of damage. You can use them to break shields. You can use them to pressure a tank. Truthfully, going back to the Zenyatta example, like if I see a Zenyatta and I have missiles, that's where my missiles are going. I know it's a guaranteed kill because of the hitbox. So if you find yourself saving your missiles a lot, I would recommend just using them more. And then after that, you're going to find like situations where you may need them, but don't be afraid to launch them into a shield. Don't be afraid to, you know, pressure out a deflect. I mean, sometimes I can get a Genji deflect out by just hitting my missiles. And I just know, yes, I'm kind of like wasting a cooldown temporarily, but like at the same time, Genji without deflect is a way different beast. You get what I'm saying? So if you get a Genji to use their deflect by using your missiles, I think that's a net positive for the D.Va. Because yes, you lose your missiles, but D.Va is still good without the missiles. So maybe use them in a way that forces out cooldowns more. If not, you get free kills. So just another way to look at that. Okay? Also, Chad, has this been helpful? Just to get an idea to make sure I'm going down the right way. Is this considered helpful even if you're trying to like not learn D.Va, but you listen to this like video? Does this seem like because like I said, my idea behind the guide video is Q&A style rather than this is what you need to do and what you should do, because I think there's too many different play styles. So I'm trying this approach differently. Again, Twitch, you get you're going to get the the more scuff version, this is going to be cleaned up to where you're not even going to know we recorded this on stream. Speaking of that, my tier list, which should be out either today or tomorrow, we did the exact same thing. So I'm curious to see how that comes out too. I just stream so much that this is how I have to record sometimes because I stream a lot. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out there. Domi, thank you for the 10 months with the tier 1. Thank you, Domi. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's continue on here. Again, questions. I'll do any other further questions at the end of this. Okay, chat. Does that sound good? And Curveball, thanks to the 18 months with the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm not done with the guide. You're good. Yep. Will there be a Mythic Skin List tier video? Sure. I don't know when. Okay, ready? What perks are best for D.Va, and is it worth picking different perks into different teams, comps, / maps? That's a great question. So if you want me to give you my honest opinion on current perks for D.Va, the minor perks are kind of like, okay. I will say with the new style of D.Va, where if you stay in the air due to the sub-roll passive that heals you, I do think that the perk that gives you the extended flight, we'll show it here what it does. Actually, I'm just gonna, I don't know. Yeah, basically the perk that kind of when you bump into people does damage and gives you extended flight. I think that one's gonna be way more beneficial now with the new like sub-roll passive. The baby D.Va one's fine. Like if you're getting demeched a lot, like it's kind of cool. But I do think the other minor perk is just above and beyond that. I want to reiterate that you might be watching this video 6 months down the road and that's already changed. Perks are constantly flowing. It's one of their new balance points in Overwatch. So I could be mentioning that right now, but I would always say just check on the updated perks. For major perk, one of them gives you the sniper part. This one is really good for, I would say, against snipers. I find that against snipers, I need a little bit more of that like deadly accuracy. So that's the one where when you hit your reload button and it kind of like reduces the spread on your shots. And because it reduces the spread on your shots, what ends up happening is you're able to snipe a Widow at an effective mid-range in comparison to, you needing to be much closer. The other perk I actually like overall. It gives me more survivability, and I do believe that being in your mech is far more important than the occasional Widow pick. So I've been leaning a little bit more towards the shield one, which is what gives you the overshield. This allows you to regen more. It allows you to regen a little bit quicker than you would. On top of that, this again goes with that sub-roll passive that will pop up on the screen that basically benefits D.Va so greatly now that I generally fall for that one. But I would say for the major perks, it's going to be playstyle preference. I'm much more of an in-between D.Va. I like to be aggressive and also help my team. I would say that if you're more an aggressive D.Va, and you're not really worried about your mech and things like that, then you go the other way. So the minor perk, I think I kind of give you a direct one. Major perk is up for you. Okay. Next up, I have, how often should D.Va be in the backline? This is a really good question, and the answer is yes. I know that's not the actual answer you're looking for, but basically D.Va has become much more of a backline presence tank. A lot of people want to play D.Va like you would still play Zarya, Reinhardt, Sigma. That's just not the case anymore. D.Va doesn't have the ability to take a bunch of poke damage. So what I mean by that is when I say ability to take poke damage, you can survive in your mech all day long, right? But if you constantly get poked out, you're never able to use your cooldowns. So when you're playing D.Va, and this is kind of a challenge I have for D.Va players now because I had to create this challenge for myself. Start to figure out how to get to their team without running it down middle, without going the direct path you would always go. King's Row, I will show this example. First point, you're on attack. Zarya's right in front of you on the point. Do you run at the Zarya or do you fly behind the Zarya? The answer is you fly behind the Zarya. This is now going to put you into the back line. If they leave you be, you pretty much win the whole team fight. If they peel for you, you help your team maybe win the team fight. Do you see what I'm saying? So I would say that if I had to give a percentage, and and again, this number can shift based off of the map. There's a lot of like nuance to it. 70% of the time, you're probably going to be in the back line. I'm not even joking. Now you could argue that some of that backline might be your teammates. It depends what they're running. I don't want you to be afraid of helping your teammates, but that's what the 30% is. That 30% that you're in your team's like vicinity, that's where you can help your teammates. The other 70% of that, the more pressure you put on their backline and survive, because a lot of that's what's going to be, you're going to win team fights like that. Now, you want to go next level? Get a tracer duo. You'll win so many games. I'm not even joking. You get a tracer with you to go backline pressure, game over for them. You get a Kiriko to do it with you, game over. There's a lot of things that you can do. So when you can, try to utilize that teammates. Try to utilize those teammates as much as you possibly can, because if you do that, then you can go and make these really, really cool plays that you normally wouldn't be able to make elsewhere. So But I would say D.Va is definitely more of a backline assassin now. And keep in mind, it took me quite a bit to learn that, as I was always a peel first D.Va. Nowadays, it's more backline. So there you go. What am I talking about? We're talking about D.Va right now. I'm doing like a mini Q&A D.Va guide. Okay. Next up, how do you counter a Winston as D.Va? I feel like I'm never sure what I am supposed to be doing against him, so my indecisiveness just makes you fall over. Sure. Step 1 to killing a Winston. Are you ready, chat? Because a lot of people don't do this. Kill the bubble, please. I'm serious. Every time you engage a Winston, it's going to generally be a bubble is popped, whether it's the Winston diving into you or you dive into the Winston. The problem is that everybody wants to kill the Winston inside of the bubble, but now even more so with the bubble that heals, you're not going to kill the Winston. Yes, can you kill a Winston in bubble? Of course, it's going to happen. And Winston's not going to understand how to play the bubble. You're going to get kills. But for the overall player base and the overall, your value on D.Va will keep going up. Just break the damn bubble. You wanted to talk about missiles, right? You wanted to talk about missiles? Break the bubble. I'm telling you right now, so many people just do not break the Winston bubble, and the bubble, it just Winston survives. If you kill the bubble, the Winston will eventually die there or get no value. You're taking away all the value. So that's how I counter Winston as D.Va. Another way to do this, if you want to know another way, is if you see the Winston dive in, you flank from behind and do a bunch of damage to the Winston. Again, the bubble will probably be popped, but now the Winston's in a really weird spot of, do I keep pushing in or do I back away? So they've done a really good job at making Winston versus D.Va feel like an even matchup for the most part, and I do believe that still is true. I do think that D.Va is a better hero right now, unfortunately for Winston, due to D.Va's ability to be that backline assassin, and as well as just add in defense matrix on top of that is like a double whammy. But I do believe that Winston can still counterplay you if you play into the Winston. So remember, kill the bubble. Also, another opportunity, chat, the moment you see Winston with no armor, another game over situation for that Winston. Armor is so key against the D.Va initially that once the armor's gone, D.Va's value goes up tremendously. So think about that too. You see a Winston maybe at half HP, maybe that's your opportunity instead of going for the backline pressure to go kill the Winston because there's no armor. So remember that. But truthfully, please kill the bubble. I'm telling you, your teammates will love you for it. The bubble gets way more value than you think. And sometimes when you don't get healed while killing the Winston, because you have that reaction of like, oh, why can't you, heal me, please. Hate to break it to you, but there was a giant bubble in your face, and your teammates can't help that. Unless, it's like a Mizuki who can heal through it. So, okay? So that's what I would say for your matchup against Winston, but definitely just a little bit of a note. Pay attention for their actual jump. If you can trail their jump, you're going to have a good time against Winston anyway. It's when they make the first move that makes it a little bit more difficult, because then at that point they can run away. So, anyway, that's that one. Whew. I'm doing my best here, chat. I also don't want to lose my voice again. Okay. I just did the perks one, Kyle. Okay, here you go. How do you manage your defense matrix? Like, when do you use it and when not to use it? This one's an easy answer for me. Burst damage, yes. Chip damage, no. So let me give you an example. Yes, you're going to defense matrix a Sigma sometimes, right? You're going to do it. But are you saying, do I just sit there and right-click a Sigma? No, it's chip damage, right? At a certain point, the teammates need to understand cover, that the heals will be enough to deal with that chip damage. Burst damage, let me give you an example. BAP pops a window, and, there's a soldier behind it in a BAP. You need to DM that. There's going to be so much burst damage that if you don't DM that, your teammates are dead. So those are extreme examples, but a lot of defense matrix is really about managing the burst and then occasionally dealing with the chip damage. But if you expect your D.Va to sit there and DM Sigma damage, to DM a little bit of echo damage on you the whole game, your D.Va's going to be out of mech. No one's going to have fun, and you're going to move a total of 3 feet. So, defense matrix, deal with the burst, use it for yourself a lot to get out. I think a lot of D.Vas now are kind of using defense matrix more as a self-peel. As much as I hate that now, because I used to love saving my teammates, a lot of DM now is really about just dealing with burst damage and then using it for yourself to get out of situations. If you do that on D.Va, you're going to have a great time. If you want to know how to manage it, tap it, learn how to... a really easy way to practice DM is just tap it once and learn how much damage you can absorb, right? Like, just tap it once, understand that, okay, I just absorbed 60% of the damage there. My teammates can survive on the rest of it. once you learn those numbers, you're going to be like one of those D.Vas. Eventually, what's going to happen on D.Va is if you're really good at defense matrix management, people are going to think you always have DM. And when you have that, you have such good like outplay potential that eventually they don't know what to do against you. So if you want to learn how to just hit the button once, see what that does for damage, that can also be helpful too. It's defense matrix is very much on the fly ability, but I think that's a really easy way to kind of ABC it, to kind of give you like a beginner aspect to it. As you get better at D.Va, I think that play style is going to expand, and you're going to learn that it's more hero by hero and case by case, and it is just like a general don't DM chip, don't DM burst. But I think it's important to understand how much more important it is to deal with burst and chip damage. There we go. Cool. As a support behind one of those D.Vas, what kind of D.Va is that, Xmas maybe? And sorry, I'm just taking a second here, since we just got through that one pretty quickly. This is fun. I think this is going to end up being a good video. Okay. Okay, so I'm on the next one. Okay. Oh, the one I described, never running out of DM. Yes, those are good ones. What video am I making? This is like a mini D.Va guide. I have two more regular questions here, and then I'll start letting chat come up with a few more that I think would be utilized well for this video. Okay? Am I going to play some D.Va today? So to give everybody an idea why I'm not playing many games today, we're currently in a blizzard. It's a very intense blizzard here. Like to give you an idea, we're getting like 75-mile-per-hour winds where I'm at. Currently, my whole town has no power, but because I'm on a generator, I have power, so I'm not trying to overdo it either. So I don't want to run into an issue with like, oh, my generator hex up and now I'm just my DC in the middle of a game. Yeah, that's where I'm currently at right now. That's why I'm doing more recording stuff right now. And so, yeah, there'll be gameplay over the video. Keep in mind that all the B-roll footage comes after. Yes, there'll be B-roll footage, all of that. Yep. To give you an idea, chat, you know the tier list I recorded? Right now, that tier list is going to have, I'm not even joking, 50 clips of B-roll footage. My editor's gone through right now. My editor's gone through and added B-roll footage to every single hero that I've talked about during the tier list. So the tier list is going to be, it shows you what they're at, like what their rating is, like B, and then it's me talking about it, and then it's all B-roll footage, rather than just being like the screen with like the tier maker. So it's almost done. I'm from Massachusetts to that question, so that's why I'm getting a big part of the storm. So he said I'm a hero of the... I see what you did there, Floofies. I get it. I see what you did there. Kayla Rose, thanks for the 3 months with the Prime sub. Thank you, Kayla Rose. Okay, let's continue on with these questions, chat. I was just kind of giving people a rundown on what's going on right now with that. So, yeah. And more into you too. You going to Boston next weekend? Any place you should make sure to visit? I don't even know in Boston, to be honest with you. I'm from Massachusetts. I barely go to Boston. Although I'll be at Boston for PAX East. I'm excited for that. I like PAX East. It's always a fun time. But I don't have a direct spot for you on what to do there. I'm sorry. Okay. Next up, chat. You ready? Here we go. This is a good one. How to VOD review your own games. Of course, getting a high-ranked player like me is preferred. However, that isn't an option for most people, so it'd be useful to have a guide on how to review your own games. Sure. This one I always give this advice because reviewing your own games is definitely tough, right? Because sometimes you also need an outside perspective, right? That's why coaches can be important for teams. So if you can't get an outside perspective of what you're doing wrong or not understanding what you can do wrong, I always say fall to the first thing that I think every player can always improve on, whether you're in bronze or you're in top 500, OWCS, etc. Positioning. That's simple. You've heard me say that word a billion times already, right? You've heard me say that word a billion times about positioning. That is where we're at, right? It's always going to be the number one thing that you can improve on no matter what at any rank, right? Aim to all that. Point I'm making here is if you don't know, then you're going to go, hey, how do I fix that? Go to the VODs, find a game where you have a lot of deaths, you don't know why you were dying, watch it from the other team's point of view, and things will open up for you. You're going to go, holy crap, what am I doing? Wait, why am I there? Why did I ult there? Dude, what am I doing?
And when you watch VODs back from the other perspective, you start to see how players beat you. You're like, holy crap, these players are dominating me. Like, wow, I didn't realize I'm sitting in the middle of the open. I didn't realize I just popped a fleck there in front of a Cassidy for no reason. What am I doing? And the more that you do that, the more you'll start to be able to pick up on things that can help your gameplay, even more so than a general review. But that's where it starts. I really think if you don't know where to start, watch it from the other team's point of view. I'm telling you, you start to realize, like, holy crap, there's so much more I can learn. Hey, you know what? You're playing Sigma. You go up against a Sigma. This Sigma dominates you. You know what? I have no problem, going back and going, what did this Sigma do better than me? You watch that Sigma's point of view. You go, holy crap, I never knew you could put your shield like this. I never knew, wow, I could use my rock more. Wait, I can do this. And when you start to learn that way, then you can review yourself because now you know what to look for and it becomes a lot easier. And that's kind of how I would say to start. And then after that, you can go from there. If you end up on a team one day, having coaches can be helpful. But that's where you start. You start with that. You're going to end up in a much better spot of understanding what to look for. And then you can learn from all of those mistakes over time. All right. I got one more here on the set of questions I took from YouTube, and then we'll see what we have left that I think can be answered from chat. Does that sound good? Eventually, this will be a video chat. Might not be a couple weeks, but it will be a video. Okay, here we go. Next up. When antied/CC'd, is it better to immediately fly back to your team or to commit to the kills? Oh, this one's a tough one. If I'm antied or CC'd, if I have a free kill on a Zenyatta, I'm taking that free kill regardless, right? Because I still have baby D.Va at that point. This is a very tough question because how close is your team? If my team is really close, of course I'm going to fly back to my team because I can defense matrix my way out, right? If I get hindered, I can defense matrix my way out. I'll give you an example, though. In TOG, thanks for the 38 months, let's say that you're D.Va on second point King's Row, right? I want to make sure there's no... Okay, we're good. Let's say that you're on second point King's Row, right? And you're sitting there and you go a little bit further up, right? Am I going to tell you to fly back to your teammates at the first point choke where you first entry the cart? Or if you're a little bit too far away from your team, is it better to fly to the mega health pack right in front of you? Well, of course, I'd rather have you go for the health pack because then you can just kind of defense your way out with your defense matrix and then fly all the way back around and you're back to safety. So I think the number one thing to look for is the distance to a health pack, the distance to your team, and then how close is that person that you're killing, right? What was the goal when you went into their backline? If the goal was to get Zenyatta ultimate out, then you might as well commit your suit at that point to get the ult out, right? If your goal was to kill a Brig and you're going to kill the Brig, if you stay there, then you're going to kill the Brig. But a lot of it's going to be just recognizing where health packs are at, recognizing where your team's at, and then making a really quick decision. A lot of the time you can survive out, but that second guessing, so that second guessing is what's going to get you killed on D.Va. So the most important advice here, just make a decisive decision. Don't even overthink it. Health pack's nearby, go to the health pack. Teammates are closer, go to the teammates. Just don't overthink it, because if you overthink it, then you're going to end up just like having an extra second of processing that decision, and that's how you get demacked right away. So D.Va's a very quick decision hero. So there you go. I hope that's helpful on that one. That's a tougher question because there's so many like variables that can happen. Like you could get hindered 100 times in a game, but every single one's a different scenario. So hope that's helpful. Okay. So Chad, that's the ones I took from the YouTube questions when I looked like a few weeks ago. Those are the ones I gathered. Next up would be, the Storm. Oh, Bo, like I said, I'm surprised I'm even on right now. Thankfully, a generator's working. So I hope that was helpful information for everybody here, because I'm now the next question is I'm going to take a few questions from chat that I see. No guarantee on how many I take question-wise. Keep that in mind. But I probably will end up taking a good amount of these. Or not a good amount, but enough to where I'm happy with it, okay? Bo, I think my whole town has no power right now. So, to give you an idea. Actually, let me text my dad. He lives nearby, but he doesn't have the generator. Where's he at? From Massachusetts? I mean, do I get recognized? Occasionally, but not all the time. So, yeah. Also, Boa, thanks for the 46 months of the Prime sub. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. I'm more coastal, so I'm feeling the winds too. Okay. All right, chat. Start putting those questions in there now. Sorry. I was just doing that. I'm gonna be stopping and scroll. So if I don't say your question right now, it's because I'm just like scrolling through. Okay, so like for example, questions I won't be answering for this guide is what if you can't climb from bad teammates? That is not a question that can be answered through a D.Va guide. Well, I guess it could be, but like that's what the D.Va guide does. But I would focus more on what you can control. Melodic, thanks for the 67 months or the 68 months of the tier 1. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know if my TTS might be paused for a second. Yeah, because I'm doing the recording. Okay. But thank you. I appreciate Melodic. Always very kind. What advice can you give to a new person besides position? I'll get to that as quick as I can, but I would say understanding your counters, understanding the mechanics of a hero you want to, like you're learning, understanding like how to play cover. I know that's positioning, but like that also is helpful. Ability usage. There's a lot there, but I have a lot of videos on that stuff. Okay. Are you near those? Okay, that's not that. What perks are better for defend and attack? I kind of answered the perk question already. That doesn't matter for attack or defend, in my opinion. I think it's the same answer. Good comps versus bad comps to play. Okay. What are good comps versus bad comps to play D.Va into? Anything that can, that's a good question. And I'm not going to get too deep into this answer because I think it can be a lot involved here. But D.Va will definitely struggle against comps that can basically CC chain you. So like, let's say that I go to the back line and they're running a comp that you probably won't see a lot of, but like Brigitte Mizuki, I don't want to run D.Va in that situation because it's probably running with like a Sigma or something or a Domina. You're not going to have a good time. So generally when I'm on D.Va, I kind of look at the back line. If their back line is not set to be able to deal with a D.Va efficiently, even a Kiriko Lucio can struggle against that comp, then you're probably fine. If they're running like a Mizuki or a Brig at the same time and they have a Symmetra and they're running the Zarya and you're playing Esperanza, yes, you can fly around them and try to make plays, but you're probably going to struggle a little bit more. So I would say look more at the core of what the team is running than looking at one singular hero. Honest take, I have no problem playing against a Zarya as D.Va. Sometimes I get annoyed playing against a Zarya as D.Va and don't want to have to do the extra level of like gameplay you need to do to make it work. But I have no problem playing a D.Va against a Zarya because all it is time and bubbles and counting them. But if they have a Zarya, a Sim, a Mei, a Mizuki, and an Ana, probably not going to have a good time. Well, actually, you could have a good time because you can. Let me give you a different example: a Kiriko or a Brig. You know, something where every one of them can self-sustain. There's a lot of things to worry about. You're not going to have a good time. So think about that more of the core of what they're running than the individual hero of what they're running, and that can be helpful. Okay. You said shout out to Market Basket. Is Market Basket open, or are you just saying Market Basket because they're Massachusetts? Sorry, I can't help you with the question on the guy on the D.Va. I mean, on your PC. Okay, first of all, would it be healthy for the game to bring more D.Vas into the game? Hot take: D.Va can deal with some of the. This is going to be a hot take because if you don't play D.Va, you won't see it as much. But D.Va can really keep some heroes at bay that otherwise take over games. I'm just pointing that part out. Like D.Va's like almost like a necessary evil sometimes for like some hit scans. Otherwise, like you would not be able to play the game. You're in Massachusetts coming down there? Yeah, it's crazy right now. 100%. Okay, anyway, let's continue on here. I got you Melodic again, thank you. What are good support heroes to play when you have a D.Va? Anything, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even, Bo, you can play pretty much anything with a D.Va. D.Va should be more self-sufficient. Can D.Va eat the shot from Domina, or is the whole damage a beam? You can't eat the beam damage, you can eat the shot. It's pretty simple there. So when the Domina is holding the beam on you, cannot eat that. When the shot goes off at the end of 10 bullets, you can eat that. Do I hate playing Echo versus D.Va? This goes back to the initial question with Echo versus D.Va. Remember, it's all about just like positioning and what they're doing. Do I like playing against the spam of Echo? Absolutely not. You can't. Truthfully, are you ready? And some people may not want to hear this with Echo versus D.Va. You can't eat all of the Echo damage. In fact, the only thing you should really be looking to eat on the Echo is the stickies. Straight up, because like if you DM all the other poke damage, it's just so consistent that you can't really do much. It's kind of the same thing with Pharah, where it's really hard to like be able to DM all of Pharah's shots. So you have to kind of pick and choose. With Echo, you have to just DM the stickies. Otherwise, you're just going to waste your time most of the time. So just want to point that out. With D.Va, that matchup isn't my favorite, but it is a feasible matchup. And if you get close to the Echo, you can pretty much win that duel if they don't have their flight cooldown. Okay. Which heroes do I find best to play together when I'm? Which heroes do you find best to play together when you're D.Va? Tracer, D.Va backline pressure. I'm gonna leave it at that. Any flanker that can get with the D.Va to go into the backline will generally give you good results. I know it sounds weird because it never used to be that way, but I could a Genji, a Tracer, a Kiriko, an Echo, a Pharah, anybody who can get backline pressure with me is gonna have a good time. So. All right, one second. I got to time a 4-year-old out on YouTube chat. They just discovered their buttons here. There you go. All right, that was easy. All right, next up here. You said it's Market Basket. It truly is. I'm trying, and again, if I skip your question chat, just because I don't want to overfill this video either. So I'm just giving a few here that I can do. The amount of times you run an Orisa down as D.Va. Oh, you can easily do that. Do you think Jetpack Cat is viable to play into D.Va? Yes. D.Va, you have way more momentum than D.Va. You'll be fine against a D.Va. Just don't play close to a D.Va. D.Va flies at you. You're like 10 times faster. I agree with you on it on the heal becoming a perk. I agree with you on that one, Nut. Is Bomb only used as a second life? Do you ever use it aggressively like Winston or Doom sometimes can do? Yes. I'm probably one of the more aggressive D.Va alters you'll see. This goes back to what I've talked about. If I see a movement cooldown used, I pop my ultimate. It was actually funny. There was remember when we did Team Overwatch a couple of years ago? Spylo, when we were doing the reviews, he goes, I don't get how you do it. He goes, I watch pro play all the time. I watch Open Division. I watch all this stuff. How are you getting kills with D.Va ult? It's like, and all I do is I just look for timings. Because like it's really hard to get D.Va ult kills even in matches, even in like Open Division, right? Because it's just hard to get that value. But what I look for is I look for cooldowns. I'm always paying attention to what else is happening on the field. So like, let's say that I'm looking at somebody directly in front of me. I'm also paying attention to the person top right. I'm also seeing the Suzu go and hit a wall, right? I'm also seeing a Genji pop to flex. So when I sit there and see all that, that's when I make those quick decisions. Oh, Winston just used bubble and used jump in. D.Va ult. What's the Winston gonna do? At the very worst, I get a cleanse out. So I like to use them a bit more proactively, but to your question, when should you use it for like a second life? Backline pressure. I know that I have my D.Va ult and I'm killing this Brig in the backline. I'm hitting that ultimate, right? A little bit of a caveat to that. If the Brig has ultimate, you got to be safe with that play because technically the Brig could pop ultimate, stun you, put the shield up, like put the shield up for the D.Va bomb, stun you, and put the shield back up, and you can't do anything. So be careful on some of the plays. But for the most part, I'm going to commit for that, like use that second life with the D.Va ultimate. A lot of people in pro play use it for that because it's really hard to get those kills. But I would say definitely think about what they have. Ults that can counter you. But if you're going to, for the most part, 75% of the time, probably a second life. I am very much on the 30 to 40% of where I use the ult, so it's more like 60%. But I would say my D.Va play style isn't, if you're trying to be a pro player, you're probably not going to D.Va ult as much as I do. If you're playing ranked, I think it's okay to D.Va ult as much as I do. You're trying to get better at D.Va. Any tips? Well, that's what we're working on right now. Mr. Films, we're working on a mini guide. So also, let me read this question here very quickly this nice comment you made. Sorry. You said, hi, I always made you laugh. Well, I'm super sorry to hear that about your mom. I can't even begin to understand how difficult that is. But know that you got this. It will get better. And I'm sure your mom was an awesome person. And she'll always be a part of your life in some way. So, again, sometimes words can only go so far, and being able to, words can only go so far in being able to give you, you know what I mean? But you got this. Sorry about your mom, and things will continue to get better. And like I said, she'll always be a part of your life in some way, even if it's not, directly there. Okay. Anyway, let's continue on, chat. Have you ever spoken about D.Va movement tech flight control a little bit? Favorite D.Va skin? I don't really have a favorite D.Va skin, Ruby, so I guess you can judge that. I'm very weird with that one. I'm not going to do the Domino one. Sorry, Azakol. That's a good question, though. If any team is close to Piz, we're trying to knock them off. That one's honestly double. I'm not going to put this in the VOD, but if somebody's near the edge and you can try to boop them off, why not? But it's a much more difficult play with like the knockbacks. Let's go. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on some stuff. If I missed anything, I'll let you know. Okay, whose ult do you find the easiest to prevent with Defense Matrix? The easiest character to I mean, I can... Tracer? Probably Tracer. I don't know what it is, but like eating pulse bombs for me. I guess Pharah. Yeah, Pharah's pretty easy to... Pharah, though, I will say, Pharah ultimate is a... No. Ayari is tough. Let me explain this one. Ayari ultimate is tough to eat because sometimes you don't have enough defense matrix to be able to deal with the... You don't have enough defense matrix. So it's a very like game of chicken with Ayari. I do agree that Ayari ultimate is easy to eat, but sometimes if you get stuck in that game of chicken or they use the mobility with that perk, it can be a little bit more difficult. Hanzo's easy to eat if they're directly in front of you because it has a little bit of travel time. But I think probably Tracer Pulse Bomb because it's really easy to predict when they have one and when I'm looking for it. You just look for their blinks. It's very obvious to see them go in for it. Pharah's easy, but if you're not well timed with the Pharah ultimate, it can still kill somebody in that burst. And obviously a trade's a trade. You'll take that any day of the week. Also in Soupy, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. The Reaper ultimate, yes, easy to eat. Just make sure you're in range. But I would say Tracer for me. Yeah, I would say Tracer. So you say Soldier. Soldier can outsprint you sometimes. And I think a lot of the heroes now can peel better for Soldier. So yes, it's easy to eat a Soldier ultimate, but I still can find kills between a defense matrix. So again, that's just going to be player preference. I'm very much like I count blinks sometimes. I legitimately count blinks to give you an idea. So like there's things that I'll do on D.Va that like I'm not even telling people to do. It's just something that I do, right? So High Noon's tougher to eat because it has a chain. So like if you're directly eating it, it can still kind of like go left or right, which can cause some problems. But it does go well. Can you pick someone up who's sleeping or frozen a jetpack cat? I don't know. I haven't tested it. CarQ told me he's doing a Mythbusters with all 5 heroes, so like I think some of those will be answered soon. Is D.Va D.Va in Stadium versus D.Va in Standard a little bit different? Yes, but kind of the same concept. Also, I will add this note to the video. People ask me about 6v6 D.Va. In 6v6, you're definitely less of a backline assassin and more of that team first type of D.Va that you played from Overwatch 1. So I would say be wary of the backline pressure as much on D.Va and more about helping your team. I would say it kind of goes 60-40 now in favor of helping your team. The other 40% is definitely backline pressure, for sure. But I do think it changes a little bit in 6v6 versus 5v5 with D.Va. Because the extra tank really takes away a lot of the pressure D.Va would normally have. So that less pressure gives you more opportunity to help save your teammates and kind of see the vision of the field. So I just want to point that out. I do think the 6v6 D.Va plays a little bit differently from the 5v5 D.Va. More peel doesn't mean you can't be aggressive, but you have less HP. So you don't have that same survivability in the backline. So it's a lot easier to get demacked. So it's definitely well-timed. I would say more like 60-40. Okay. There we go, chat. I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. Okay? 5v5, by the way, Skullet. I think I'm going to leave it at that now for the D.Va guide. We'll see where we're at once this starts to get edited, and then if I need more questions, I will add more after, okay? Does that sound good? Yeah, and less DM too. All right, I think I'm gonna go with that for now. We'll see where it looks like after it's edited, and if I need to add more to it. Again, these are supposed to be kind of Q&A guides rather than everything you need to know. I'm going to add, keep in mind, I will, at the beginning of the video, add like what the abilities do. I do think that it's important if I'm going to market it as a guide or like say it's a guide, at least add what the abilities do and how to use them. But that will be something I do for that video kind of off stream or whatever. But that's going to take me like 2 minutes. The rest will be, all the questions, and we'll put them in an order that we feel is necessary. So, but anyway, there you go. We're going to leave it at that. Again, chat, I want to do more of these. but I'm going to see how the D.Va guide does when it's out in a couple of weeks. If it evergreens to even like a 7 out of 10 video, I'm okay with that, and I'll start to do more. If it does even better, then you'll see more of these even more. But let's see how it does. Sometimes videos sound like cool ideas. They don't do well. Sometimes videos sound like they're not going to do well, and they end up doing amazing. So, again, I will not promise it yet, but let's see how it does, and then I will go from there. Okay, does that sound good? You spent last night watching YouTube videos of new players reacting to Overwatch cinematics. Guess what they were saying like every other video? They should do more of those? I don't know. What is my favorite part about being a streamer? I mean, if you want to go that deep, growing up, I always wanted to entertain people, and I always found happiness through making people happy in ways that, you know, to the point where I needed to find a healthy outlet for that. And streaming does that for me. I can make people happy. I can entertain people. I can know I have a positive impact on people's days. And that's the fun part of streaming for me. Now, don't get me wrong. Being where I'm at as a streamer now, it feels great. I'm not going to ever BS about that either. Obviously, we've had very awesome streams. And I'm very lucky to be able to do what I do. Y'all enabled me to, you know, I mean, do things, you know, live where I'm at, right? Things that I never thought would be possible. But that's the part I like about streaming. And I know that kind of sounds like a very like PC answer to it, but that's just the truth, man. That's what I like about streaming. Like, yeah, there's money in it, all that stuff, but like, I always just wanted to entertain people. It was something I always wanted to do because like, it was just something I loved. It was just, anytime you could get somebody to laugh, it was like, dude, that's awesome. Right. So finding a healthy outlet for that through streaming is really good for me. So that's why I like about it. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Plus, I get to play video games all day long, which I love video games. So I mean, obviously, that's a big part of it. So, you know, I'm not gonna BS about the other aspects of it that are really cool. Setting my own schedule. Obviously, you know, very lucky to be able to, you know, make what I make with it. All that stuff. You know, being able to just, like I said, play video games, do what I want to do. All that stuff is great. Also, like today, pretty weird day because I'm running on a generator. I got to put a stream on and just hang out with chat for hours. You know, I get to experience things that I never thought I would experience. So that's what I like about it. You know, I mean, it's a pretty deep answer to it because, like, I think everybody will have their different reasons for streaming. So, that's mine. So, teach their own. And I always try to improve. That's another thing I always like to do with streaming in life is always try to improve the next day. There's always things I can work on, things I can get better at, things I'm not as good at, things I need to learn, things I need to understand, things I need to be better. Just in general, I always try to adapt that mentality to anything I do. Anyway, there you go. That's my little talk on that one. So there you go. Hope that was helpful. Hi, buddy. Hi, little guy. Here's my dad. My dad said that his power has been going in and out for 3 hours and the internet doesn't work. So my generator's working perfectly. Like his internet keeps going out. So whatever they did to my house when they installed all this stuff, they did everything right. Because they basically marketed it to me like, even when the power's out, the internet is plugged into my house a way that they don't normally do, and I should be fine. And so far, everything's fine, because my dad and I are on the same internet right now. So whatever's going on is going right. Hi, buddy. Hi, little guy. I don't know what we use Infamous, but it's pretty good. Hi, buddy. Am I all underground cables right now? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, they were worth, yes. Well, I have a whole like server room too, which is where everything plugs into. Like I have like a server room with like it's not like a server room, but it's like what are those things you put a bunch of server boxes in? What are those called? A rack. Yes, we have a rack. Yeah, there we go. A server rack. Because my whole house has like this whole like electrical thing done. That's how the lights are the way they are. That's how I use my phone to like control all the stuff. So like they have everything plugged into that, but I guess that makes everything work perfectly. So, yep. I don't even know what's in there. It's just a bunch of wires and a bunch of like a bunch of like these things there. I don't know how they work, but they've been working, so I have no complaints. Oh, that's good. That's staying on. How do I feel about the Overwatch vs. Talon event? I like it. I think just adding a little bit of fun, like banter between people with that stuff. Like I think the Talon versus Overwatch aspect is just a really fun banter, in my opinion. You know, it's not bad. It kind of just adds a fun aspect to it. You get rewards for doing it. I think they should do more events in the future. I think it's a cool concept, right? I think they should. I would like to see them add like another layer to it. And before you ask, well, what's that layer? I have no clue. I just think eventually I don't want people to get like fatigue from these events. So I would like them to add like an extra layer to it in some form. What that may be, I don't know. But I do think like an extra layer to it would be nice. But again, that's a small note. As long as people don't get fatigued by it, I'm okay with that. Hi, buddy. Oh, you're all excited, little guy, huh? Yeah. Hi. Are you happy I got you the chair in here? He loves that chair. Hi, buddy. I love you. Yeah. You're actually trying to play and watch, but power keeps flashing in and out, causing you to lose internet. I'm sorry. How do I keep my internet? They have everything installed under the ground, and they have it direct. The internet directly connects to whatever server box they use in here, rather than, you know how they usually do it to a modem? Basically, all they did was they said they had my internet company just put the stuff there, and then they said they'll do the rest. So like the modem that you normally have is not active, and they have like the actual like fiber plugged into something. I don't know how. I have no idea how it works. Like I said, the people I worked with are like advanced electrician. Like I said, my whole house is controlled by like an app half the time. Like it's so like they did some stuff that I don't even quite understand, but it's nice to have for sure. Yep. Yeah, it's nice to have. And again, chat, the reason why I'm not playing is because due to the storm, I'm not trying to ruin my teammates' games and ranks. So I'm just kind of, pretty much a smart house. Yeah, Mr. Gamber, exactly. Pretty much essentially a smart house, yes. Yep. Yeah, and again, well, I definitely am on fiber to that one gamer family dad. I just don't know what they did after they got plugged in there. So, yeah. Did rip your back from so much shoveling? I bet. That might be a little bit too tough to do Empire on that one. At least on stream. But they do a very good job in Massachusetts. They work on some crazy houses. There's this island that they were doing a house on. Like, is it called Block Island? And is it Block Island sound right? Is that the name of the island? What's the island like off of the coast here? That's they would either work on my house, or they would have to go and they would have to travel to Block Island. Block Island to work on some like billionaire's house out there or something crazy. They were working on like some billionaire's house on Block Island. I was like, holy crap. So either they were working here doing the stuff, or they'd have to go and take a boat every single day over to work on it. And it's like usually a little bit longer, so. Sounds like a Super Mario level. Yeah, I think is it near Rhode Island? I don't even know. Block Island. I might think of the wrong spot. Yeah, it is just south of mainland Rhode Island. And it's just every house there's like $10 million. It's like crazy. Yeah. Yeah, my dad says Rhode Island. Yeah. What is my feelings on the UI menu? I actually don't mind it. It took me a little bit to get used to it. Obviously, there's a couple things they could fix and adjust to it, but yeah, I mean, I don't think the old school aspect of it is getting to me on that one for sure. You have an island near you. The cheapest house is $14 million. Oh, that's it? Wow, what a steal. What kind of vehicle do I drive? A Herman Miller M-Body. Because I don't really drive anywhere right now. We're only running one car, so. Got our Subaru Forester. I'm eventually going to get an electric car, but right now we're currently chilling until I have all the outlets for it. But when I moved, I didn't really want to truthfully, I didn't want to just have basically look at it this way. Our garage right now has one car in it and it barely fits. Okay. So the point I'm making is we need to clear our garage out before I can start plugging or parking my stuff in there. So, yeah. No, I have a driveway, but like I don't want to have it out in the driveway during like storms like this, for example, because they clear my driveway. I know it's like a niche issue. I have a long driveway too, but like I don't want to have it be an issue, and I don't want to go clean my garage yet. So I'm just going to wait until I'm ready to get a car, probably this summer maybe. We'll see how I feel. I might even just wait. I don't go many places, and we just use Lonnie's Forester anyway. But I figured I'd wait until the winter because I truthfully trying to clean in that garage right now. Am I thinking of playing any single player games? As of right now, chat, and hopefully y'all will join me. Doesn't have to, you know, obviously I know some people won't. Resident Evil this weekend. No, Lonnie's car is inside right now. We have one spot for Lonnie's car. Resident Evil this weekend. I'm thinking, I think I have to, chat. I think I have to. I love Resident Evil games, so I'm thinking we'll do some Overwatch into Resident Evil this week and just try to beat it in one go. When is it? Let me see. When is Resident Evil 9 release? Resident Evil 9. The 27th. So technically Friday. So maybe we'll do it Friday and Saturday or something. I just want to beat that game. We're in a slight downtime here waiting for the next patch. At the same time, not really. I think that's what I'm going to do. So. Well, no, I wouldn't get a new car until I clear out the garage. Oh, it's 3-car Riz. No, it's good. No. There's more than one car slot. The point is that the rest of the garage is filled with boxes from our move that we haven't touched. That's the point. Yeah. No, we'd be able to fit the cars in there. We just don't. There's only room for one. So. Am I in Boston? I'm not directly in Boston. I'm in Massachusetts. So, yes, very stormy. Very stormy here. Overwatch has been so fun this season, man, and it makes you so happy that you enjoy Overwatch again after a year or so break. I would say that Overwatch has sustained players the past couple weeks. It's been very nice, and I think it's going to continue that way. Am I going to get the new James Bond game? I would like to try it. When does that come out? 007 game, 2026. May 27th? Yeah, that's a few months away. I won't promise it, but I've heard those games can be really fun, so I probably will look into that later on. You have a tiny garage, you could barely fit one car in it, but it's just filled with broken down cardboard boxes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Boa. Yeah. What's my address? Sure. All right, chat, listen. I've always promised I'm going to sit here and be entertaining before anything else. So I won't be able to play as much right now due to the power outage that I'm currently in. Hopefully they have it fixed by tomorrow, so I'm not running on the generator anymore, and I can just do a normal full day. But I think we're going to leave it as is. I know it's a short day. To give you an idea, I have a meeting at 1:30 anyway, so I was only going for a max 2 more hours. But I'd rather than, you know, I'm happy with today's stream. We got some really good videos done. I got to hang out. I didn't get a forced day off. I mean, like I said, if the generator wasn't working, I wouldn't even be able to stream today. So I'm very glad to have that working. I'm going to now go bundle up. I'm going to go outside and clear some things around that I need to clear. Good luck to me. It is a blizzard outside, so I'm going to go do that. And then I should be on tomorrow, no problem, okay? I will raid Beaver, so y'all can continue to get your drops, all of that. Apologies again. I know I had 2 days off, and now I have to hop off a little bit earlier than I would like. Obviously, I love my 10-hour days, but I also don't want to risk it with the generator just in case it goes out for a long period of time. So thank you, everybody, for all the love. I really appreciate y'all so much. Amazing stream today. We got to hang out, do some guides, do some good spectatings, do basically a non-gameplay day, and I had thousands of people in here again, which is it's become the new norm because Lonnie's in the back screaming to the game. She is screaming at the game. It's becoming a new norm, which is crazy because like now we're kind of past that initial burst of drops too. So to see what it's been like has been. You heard her, yeah. She's playing I think Pokemon Arceus. Cactus, thank you for the 50 months with the tier 1. Thank you, I appreciate it. She's in the back just screaming. Oh, yep, she's still yelling. Yep, you got this. You can win. But anyway, thank you everybody for all the love. Do me a favor, hit the follow button if you haven't. Thank you for all the subs, all the bits. If you're on YouTube, like the stream. Remember, there'll be videos out today. I think it might even be the tier list. Unreal day, unbelievable day in general. I really appreciate y'all so much. It means the world to me. These streams have been awesome. And tomorrow, hopefully we get a full day in, okay? Does that sound good? So hopefully tomorrow will be a full day. Am I right? All right, chat. Here's my question. Will I see you tomorrow, chat? Will I see you tomorrow? And sorry for the short stream again. With the power being out, I don't want to risk it.
It's crazy how the storms keep raging.
And heck yeah, chat. Heck yeah, chat. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Thank you again for all the love. I hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you're from. And I will see you tomorrow. See you later. Peace.